podcast. Oh, what a line. The ember glows, the tales unfold. A circle of voices, a fire of gold. Presented with pride, let the moment hold. Indiana standard bread, steady and true. Harris Hoosier Park, the night's rendezvous. Aladino cigars, the spark we pursue. Final Third Cigar podcast, this one's for you.
Yeah, there's a place I go on a Saturday night, and the bourbon's poured over the firelight. Good company and conversation. Final Third's my destination. Cigars and bourbon. I think I've died and gone to heaven. Good friends and company. Well, this is where I want to be. Thank you all for tuning in to the Final Third podcast. Yeah. Let me introduce you to Scotty D. You just don't know how much I drink. Willie B. R.S. Scott, Cocky Wolverine. Mikey B. Our favorite production machine. Heine. Knowledge of cars and machines. Humphrey, the wizard of slot machines. And the pretentious tobacconist. Robbie B.
Welcome back to the Final Third podcast. I'm Rob,
I'm Will. I'm Scott.
I'm Mike.
Alan.
I'm Heine.
and today we're going to be tasting the pairing of the month. So this week's pairing of the month is, or this month's pairing of the month is going to be the Rojas Barbacoa. It is a Sumatra wrapper over Nicaraguan binder and fillers. Nice solid medium plus. And we're going to be pairing that for the entire month with any of our 3 whiskey gypsies that we have on the shelf now. And we're going to be tasting through those 3, plus one of the picks that the Marzipan group did. And then Will and I are going to talk a little bit about the barrel pick we did yesterday too.
On
Yeah,
this
that's what
cigar,
we're
one
gonna
thing we always want to make sure we mention it every single
Yes,
time.
please do.
It has a closed foot. And because it has a closed foot,
Ah,
you should make sure that you don't pre-light this, your normal warm-up procedure.
Yep.
no toasting.
Instead, no toasting.
Nope.
You
Just
just want to light the end and start puffing.
puff it in.
because
Yep.
You get all
And-
that good
and we-
flavor from the
And I
wrapper.
know I always forget. So cold draw.
But let me ask you this: I'm not getting much on a cold draw. Is it because it's closed, or is there?
Yeah, it will restrict some of the airflow.
Okay.
Yeah, it should open up really well. Like this one's actually fully closed. I had one yesterday that wasn't fully
I say
closed.
mine's not fully closed.
Yeah,
It's
that's
got
the
a
way I
little
had
bit
it
of an
too.
opening.
So
Can you remind us like the makeup of the barbacoa?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Sumatra over Nicaraguan binder and filler.
Sumatra.
Yep, yep.
Okay, this
um,
one has a little chocolate chip cookie
On the
note to
cold
me
draw?
on the cold draw.
Was this
Okay.
the Cookie Crisp one?
It might have been the cookie crisp. Yeah. Cookie
Yeah, crisp,
crisp.
that's a
is
good
good.
call.
Getting a little chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
little chocolate, but more of the cookie.
But if I remember, I think this one does end up having like some kind of like bacon fat notes
Yeah.
later as you get into it. So,
And I
Well-
always love the wrapper on these too, because they got that little, almost like holographic kind of
Yeah.
oh yeah,
iridescence.
kind of the
Yeah,
Like,
this
kind
is
of makes
part-
them pop.
the Day
This
of the
was the
Dead.
original one that came from the street tacos line they started. So this was the first one that came out. And it's still probably the best one they've ever done.
Yeah, and you've had this in the shop since day one, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, we sure have. All right, so we're gonna start with the Gypsy Tribute. So this is a double barrel bourbon sitting at 86 proof. So and aged 4 years. I like this one because I feel like, and we'll talk about it. I feel like this is one of the lower proof options that have a ton of complexity to it. So if you're one that doesn't really, or maybe new to bourbon, or you just like lower proof stuff, this is actually a really great option.
So this isn't the greatest bourbon in the world, but it's a tribute.
It's
Tribute to the
it's a
greatest
tribute to the
bourbon?
greatest bourbon in the world. Yeah.
I like that.
Tenacious
Yeah, I
D.
think you
It's not the
know,
greatest song in the world. It's a tribute.
this is made with Cherokee white corn, which is an heirloom varietal. It's kind of cool. You don't see a lot of Cherokee white corn, all sourced by small farmers. Nothing big here, no big grain companies. And it's double barrel, which is kind of cool. I think that's what helped bring that flavor and that roundness to it.
So we did this. I was trying to look up what episode it was, but I can't get my phone to load. But we did Whiskey Gypsy early last year when they first came out.
And I bet we probably tried at least a couple of these on that
We did
show.
do the tribute, and then
I think we did the double.
what was the
too.
green one?
Oh, we did the green one. That's right. We don't have that one on this one. I don't remember that one.
Legacy.
Okay.
The
It was the legacy one.
the retro really makes that almost like that corn note stand out, almost like a husk.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Still got some spice to it. And actually, the nice thing on this one is it's not like a blast of spice immediately. It builds on the nose. It keeps on getting a little spicier.
If
Yeah.
you're new to drinking bourbon, like this is a great starter bourbon to begin your journey, right?
Really is. Yeah.
It's got all the classic bourbon notes on the nose. You get vanilla, you get caramel. It's really nice.
The thing I like about this
July.
one too is it's perfect for someone new, but for someone that's experienced, it still has so much complexity to it that you're going to enjoy it.
Great
Yeah.
little cherry note there, kind of at the tail end of the nose.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
episode 113 from July of 2024. So
I'm
a
not sure
little
what
over
that
a year
is.
ago.
Yeah,
is when we had
We had
this.
Ari on.
We had
Ari
Ari
Sussman.
Sussman. So if
Master,
you want to hear more about our initial thoughts, check out episode 113. Otherwise,
Scott, you want to pass
Stay
the
tuned.
stopper back? So
Oh yeah, yeah.
excuse my sniffles. I have a runny nose today.
Yeah.
I could
Oh, you
definitely.
better go
As do
catch it.
almost everybody in
Yeah.
Indiana right now.
I've got a hangover problem that's going on 2 days now. I mentioned to you guys, I ran into a buddy on Friday over at Hasi in the Vieja. And thanks to
Shout out.
Antonio, he gave me bourbon over there and then ended up going to my buddy Jason's house. Thank you very much, Jason, for treating me so kindly and pouring me way too much heavy high proof whiskey.
I'll be honest with you right now. I am shocked that this guy's even sitting here right now.
we had a
had a-
weekend.
You
man.
had 2 days in a row of just slamming them down.
Yeah.
When you see Brandon passed out on the couch, you know it was a good day.
At,
That's,
at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to remind Brandon what cocktails he drank Friday night. He didn't even
I should have
remember.
quit at 10 o'clock. Instead, we went to about midnight and it was that second, the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I went and got an IV yesterday and that probably helped me from feeling like complete death.
Hmm.
But man, I am still a little bogged down.
Yeah.
So this smelled great, but also made my stomach churn just a little
Well,
bit.
that's why I'm pouring. That's why I'm going to be pouring very lightly today because I drank
Yeah.
a lot yesterday too. I'm like,
I
"Oh."
say that every time. I'm going
I
to pour a
know.
little
Yeah.
lightly today.
Well, I haven't drank in 3 days, so let's go, boys.
Buckle up.
Giddy up,
Buckle up, buckaroos.
giddy up.
So it was Friday. Friday wasn't the tasting aspect. Friday was just pre-tasting, pre-party. Just
Yeah.
get down
You
there.
guys did a tour and everything, right?
Yeah. So Friday, we arrived about 2 p.m.
Mention where you went.
Hard Truth.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were at Hard Truth. Yeah. Sorry. Which is down in Nashville, Indiana, Brown County. Wonderful distillery. If you haven't been there, I highly recommend you go. They've got a wonderful restaurant. They've got a great tasting room. They have great bourbon experiences, ATV tours. In the summertime, they have a lake, which is basically a retention pond, but they have a pontoon on it, tikied out. You
Yeah.
can go take
There
tiki
you go.
cruises.
Not right now.
Not right now. No, you be ice
You can
skating.
probably skate on it.
I
Yeah.
was
Right,
gonna say,
yeah,
you probably
yeah.
walk to the boat.
And but going the ATV tour we did Friday afternoon, going through the snow in the woods of Brown County, it's just beautiful,
How bad?
beautiful. And they have whiskey cocktails at certain stops along the tour, which is kind of cool.
I would love to do that.
Yeah,
I've
you would-
I've
really
done that
enjoy
yet,
it.
But that'd be a great time.
It's a great experience all around. I think they were up for they're up for an award as the best distillery experience
Yeah.
in America. They're up for. I mean, they're up against like some of the big heavy hitters.
Yeah, Buffalo Trace, Maker's Mark. They're probably the only Indiana one there.
Yeah.
But we also went and did a tour of the rack house. We theed from a couple barrels in there. After that,
Froze?
that was cold,
I
man.
bet
It
it
was
was
actually colder in the rack house than it was outside.
I'm so sure.
Oof.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
wow.
rough.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's hard to taste whiskey when it's that cold, Exactly.
You don't really taste it. You just drink it because you're
Yeah.
like, I need to
Yeah.
get warmed up.
Yeah.
It's delivered by a Saint Bernard.
yeah,
Yeah.
we pulled from a sweet mash rye and then a chocolate malted rye barrel, which is kind
Nice.
of cool. That chocolate malted rye was crazy. So many had a pepper, like a green pepper, jalapeno pepper kind of note.
Nice.
Not spicy, but just that
That
quality.
slightly kind of bittery.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it bitter because it's like that green pepper bitter. That's not like it's not a coffee bitter.
Yeah, but with the chocolate malt, it just works. Like it
Yeah.
just is a flavor bomb.
Do you think that? Would you consider that a flaw
I would in
in a traditional aspect?
yeah, not in a rye so much. It depends on how much is there. It is a chemical compound that is considered a flaw in too much quantity, IBMP. But you usually see it in whiskeys that are finished in a Cab Franc barrel or a Sauvignon Blanc barrel because it's usually very concentrated in those grapes. And if those grapes are harvested immaturely,
You get the tartness.
you get a real pepper note that'll shine through. And so that seeps into the barrel, and rye whiskey really pulls that out a lot. And these weren't finished, so I'm not quite sure where that note's coming from.
Well, I was just curious too. Do you think that could come from the fact that it's been so cold for so long?
It could,
Okay,
like, and
that may be
whiskey
completely
is meant
gone by
to-
the time it releases. So
whiskey's meant to be tasted. If you're tasting it at typically room temperature,
Yeah.
you're going to drink it. You want to drink it cold, drink it on ice, whatever. But if you're trying to taste it to pull notes, it needs to be room temperature.
So
Yeah.
do they know, like you say it's flawed, do they know it's flawed before you taste it? Or is it something that, I mean, is this even
Yeah,
like,
I wouldn't
Well-
call it and I wouldn't say it's flawed on that one. I think it's just a unique note that barrel happened to have.
So let's talk through that real quick because I think this idea, this concept of flaws, you use the word flaw and that sounds like a negative connotation. And in a way, it is, right? We've had like some whiskey that's had some high salinity content to it. I always think of that because I know that was the one flaw that you missed that
Yeah.
you talked about on the show when you were doing the blending. And it's not that a flaw is necessarily bad.
Okay.
In a traditional sense, it's been defined as something that brings an off note. Now, think like sour beers. Well,
yeah,
there's things that happen in fermentation with beer that are absolutely flaws, but it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody won't drink it,
right.
right? They may really love that flavor, and sometimes that's how you get new styles or or you find that there's something that, okay, we've traditionally considered this a flaw, but suddenly the marketplace demands it,
Yeah.
wants that flavor. Well, it's not really a flaw at that point, right?
So
So you got to be a little cautious
almost kind of more of a
leveraging that,
unique
that
characteristic.
terminology.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's how everybody refers to it.
Like if
you
you
got to define
if
it.
you think about Jack Daniels, right? Jack Daniels has that banana note.
Yep.
Isoamyl acetate is the chemical compound.
okay.
It could be considered a flaw.
Yeah.
You know, however, that's Jack Daniels flavor profile.
Mhm.
It's been that way for 100 years, so it's good, and I like it. And I think
Yeah.
in certain quantities, you know, if you're going for a certain flavor profile and you have too much of that, and you don't want that banana note, then it's flaw.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And you got to have something that says, I know what that chemical compound is.
Yeah.
I know where it comes from. I know what it's going to take in my next batch to
recreate
not
that,
have
yeah.
it or to make sure that
Yeah.
I have it.
See, I love this conversation and the educational, obviously, for the podcast, because when you hear flaw, you're thinking, oh, well, in my mind, it's, well, that's not what they intended the taste to
Yeah.
be. But that, in a sense, that's what it is. Am I correct like that? There's a taste in there that they did not
Yeah.
intend to have in there, but it's in there.
It's in there, and again, like the right proportions and the right amount, perfectly fine.
Mhm.
It's when if I had tasted that whiskey and that's all I tasted
Yeah.
was that green pepper note and nothing else, I'd be like, all right, it's a little too much. You know,
Yeah.
that'd be how I describe it as being flawed versus not flawed.
Is
But
there a
you might-
percentage out there of like, hey, how many barrels are usually, what percentage is flawed out there versus what's
Oh.
intended correctly?
That's a good question because it depends on, you know, if you the distillation and fermentation runs, right? You could have a batch of, you know, 20 barrels that are flawed because you got too much in a fermentation run that carried through distillation for that batch of, you know, barrels that were filled on that distillation run. So it's hard to say, man. Like, you know, I would say if you picked, you know, 20 single barrels out of a rick house, there may be only, you know, a handful that are genuine single barrels for bottling. The rest are going to be used to blend.
Yeah.
My
And
parents
that's
used to call
part-
me flawed. So
See,
You're
it might
you're
just be that
perfect for
you're
blending.
I was supposed to be a girl.
Well, and you mentioned beer. You know, beer can really have flaws quickly. You know, because there's a lot of sanitation and stuff that if it doesn't happen right, you're gonna get a flaw. But some of it comes from the yeast strains.
Yeah.
It's easy
You
to
know,
mess up the
There are
yeast.
certain yeast strains that come out with that kind of banana buttery kind of thing in there that have actually been good in some beers, but it still was
Well,
a flaw
Belgian
in
ales
the- yeah.
are
Exactly.
you know, both famous and I would say in some ways notorious for their banana clove.
Yes.
And a lot of that deals with the fact that that yeast is really susceptible to temperature swings. And when you get aggressive temperature swings, you're going to bring out that banana clove. Now, some Belgian brewers will really embrace it, or some people that are brewing Belgian singles and doubles and triples, they want some of that in there. And so they allow some temperature variation. Some say, I want to minimize that as much as possible. And they have to control it as much as you would like a lager.
Yeah.
And those elements come through in fermentation and will come through in whiskey the same way, right?
Yeah.
When you're using a lot of specialty malts, you can get this from some of the Chattanooga stuff because they're using tons and tons of specialty malts. So their yeast can have a really big impact on what comes out of that, what temperatures they're controlled. Most of the time when you walk into a distillery, you see like these open fermentation vats.
Yep.
Right. You don't have to control it nearly as much. A lot of that goes away in distillation, but you still carry some of it through and you might need to have a more controlled process depending on what your ingredients.
The grains are more forgiving than like yeast strains.
Yeast strains, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
they're,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so when you get in kind of leaning towards what you were saying, Alan, like with the like having a fault in their distillation, like sometimes it leads to something really good.
I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah.
bringing that note. Like I'm curious the fact that there's anything out there like documentation of something that was considered flawed but became a bestseller.
Yeah.
Like something's
Yeah.
like, oh no, that's actually
Becomes a
really
nice
well-
single
Well, you
barrel.
get flaws in cigars too,
You do.
like flawed flavors. So a lot of them the
Anything
most
fermented,
common one
yeah.
is when you don't ferment your tobacco enough or you don't rotate it enough, right? Because they have to rotate these bales and change the stacks out. They get the ammonia, right? And if you try and make a cigar too quickly from something, or you roll it and then you don't let it rest, Like when you get a hand roll, they say that in most cases with a hand roll, you should smoke it either right away,
Right away or let
or
it.
Yeah.
let it sit for 6 weeks
Mhm.
because it will
Yeah.
start the fermentation process up again. And you'll get formaldehyde, you'll get ammonia, you'll get a lot of these unpleasant flavors that will go away with some time.
So,
Yeah.
I want to, Rob, I want to ask you this. So,
Yeah.
when you get a box in, and you open it and it's got that, I think this has happened before where you get that ammonia.
Yeah.
What do you do? Do you let them sit? Do
I
you
just
let-
rest it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
just stick it
you
on the
just have
top
to
shelf
let it
and
rest
let
and-
it sit there.
I mean, and not to pick on them, but crowned heads for a while, a lot of their cigars were coming and they were just a little bit young. And in 3 months, they were absolutely amazing. The biggest issue I have is like just let them age in the factory before you ship them, because if you ship them, someone tries it once when they're young and not very good, they'll never go back to it again. So
Yeah.
I'd rather say, you know what, we're gonna release it in May, but we're gonna wait till July and we're gonna send them to you because of this. I'm like, that's fine. At least
I
it's
was
gonna be a
gonna
better
say,
experience. for
That
your
and the Las
customer.
Calaveras have been that way too previously. where they come
And
in
I
with
don't
Yeah.
think those have necessarily been flawed, but they've
That's what I
lacked,
meant with
they've
Las
lacked
Calaveras,
flavor,
yeah.
right? They've just kind of been a little dead on the palate, but then you wait, a couple months and massive
And what
improvement.
was the other
Yeah.
really good one that was
The
really
Independence
good?
Day.
The Independence Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
that sit. What 6 months? We let that sit.
I think it was
Yeah.
about
And
6
man,
months. Came
dude, that
back
thing
to
is
it.
killer
and
right now.
It was
Yep.
bonkers.
I have 3 or 4 left and I've just kind of been letting them sit.
It's gonna blow. When was the last time you had one?
Month. I mean,
It's gonna blow your
6
mind.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally different.
You're gonna look back and you're gonna be
Totally
like, wow, that maybe should have been in my top 5.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that different and that much
Wow.
Well,
better.
then we
it's-
have those
it's-
on Thanksgiving or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
And then we bought some more after that somebody got for us. And then I've let those sit, and I still have a handful of those
I'm
left.
trying to remember if that was Walter or Dave that got the Independence Day.
Or was
No,
it?
Maybe
Breeden brought it
or
back.
was it was
Breeden.
Breeden. Yeah, I'm sorry, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
North
brought it back from
Carolina. I
North
brought
Carolina.
some back. For
We
you.
got the Belgian blue from
Yeah.
Walter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't bring back enough boxes.
One-
Shame.
One thing I do want to
Come
say,
on, man.
yeah, one thing I do want to say about Hard Truth is that they sweet mash. They do not sour mash. So they don't use back set. And that distillery their sanitation practices are like top of the
It's
line.
beer sanitation.
It is the
Yeah.
cleanest distillery I've ever toured. There's not a speck of dust or dirt anywhere in that distillery. It's just amazing how clean it is. Like,
Well,
they
I
do a
know
good
a
job.
lot of people don't understand the difference between sweet and sour mash. It's really simple. Sweet mash, you sanitize between everything. You don't bring back anything from the previous batch. Sour mashing is you're starting with that yeast starter, previous batches, and you may go on that, how many times? 3, 4, 5 times before you actually clean it. Some actually I think they
I
use
think
it
they're just continuing. Like I
It's
think
continuous, yeah.
Makers.
It's
I don't know that
continue.
Makers ever cleans
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
And the
an
thing
AV
is,
pot.
I mean, it's a clean space, right? They're
Oh,
going
yeah.
through and they're sweeping everything, but they still have wood vats that are
Yeah.
open fermentation.
yeah.
Is there a
That's-
distinct taste between sweet and sour mashed?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also
In
helps
my
with
opinion,
consistency
what
too.
to
I
Give
mean,
you a
in my
blind,
opinion, I think there's absolutely a distinct.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say one's better than the other, because some people that sour mash do a great job. People who do sweet mash, like Hard Truth, do a great job. I think it's just a difference in the way they want to do it.
Well, a lot of them say consistency
Yeah.
too,
Yeah,
right? When you're starting over a fresh process,
it's hard to
all
be
new
consistent.
fresh ingredients. it's
But for
really,
someone like
really
Hard
tough.
Truth, there's only a couple of lines that they're doing to be consistent. Everything else is single barrels or single releases.
Yeah.
They don't mind to be a little bit different. Like the
No.
chocolate malt he tried, I tried the previous chocolate malt. It was great too, but it was more chocolate. It had none of the pepper notes in it. So they're
Yeah.
gonna all be different. That's great.
Now, what's amazing to me is we went to MGP and they're all sour mash.
Yep.
Like 100%, but they're also doing more than 100 different mash bills.
Yeah.
So, their back set may not even be from the same mash bill as previous. It's really a yeast consistency as much as anything.
And a pH consistency
There you go.
for
Yeah.
your
Oh, yeah,
fermentation.
yes.
Yes.
The more you know, Alan.
No, like I said, this is very educational to me. Obviously, I don't know as much as you guys do when it comes down to bourbon. So, like, I always love when you guys come back from someplace and you guys talk about this
Yeah.
stuff because it helps me understand. And I feel like I'm one of your sales reps coming in. That you've had a couple of new salespeople come in this past week that I
Yeah.
sit there is like, yeah, they could probably sit down and listen to some of this stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna fight Keith, but then he came. I've never seen Keith with his hair down, so I'm not gonna fight him
Not
today.
gonna fight him
No.
today, yeah.
No.
He does kind of look like he's,
Just hit him in the face with a goose.
he kind of looks like one of these WWE guys walking
Yeah.
in through the door.
Yeah.
It's like,
Steve Nash is here, everybody.
Yeah.
Steve Nash.
Big sexy.
Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash.
Oh yeah.
Kevin,
Steve Nash is the point guard.
that's right. Kevin, the big sexy.
knew what
right?
you- we knew what
Same
you're talking
height
about.
at least.
So what are you guys thinking of this whiskey right now?
Great.
I love the mouthfeel of it. It's got kind of a viscousness that's just really, really pleasant.
Something you don't normally get in that low of a proof.
Now, I was gonna say, what is the proof on this?
86.
See, that's boy, it was the right starter for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody, thank you very much. You're right. I did find out just how much I can drink. It was not as much as I tried to drink.
I
But
like that a
yes.
lot. Obviously, that's more my speed. The lower proof and stuff. I mean, it left a great aftertaste. Like you know, you can it sat in the back of the throat and stuff. So
It's got a lot of the traditional bourbon notes that you just like, but I feel like it has just a little bit more complexity behind it. So
Yeah.
I like it.
Now, I will say we try not to comment about whatever's on TV, and I won't tell you like any details, but I am very, very happy to see golf back on TV.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's the first sign that, you know, I woke up this morning and I looked at my weather app, minus 13.
Yeah.
Air temperature, not feels like, not the wind chill, actual air temperature, minus 13. I'm like,
Such a baby.
I hate everything right now. I hate everybody. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to go outside. I'm just forget it. I'm so done with this.
I'm gonna go for a
I was
walk
gonna
later.
lose my mind at the gas station the other day
Dude,
with the guy.
get
Like,
out. You're just like, I can't even pump the gas. My hand doesn't want to move.
well, so you know, my gas tank is on the driver's side, and so you know, even though they have the hoses that pull around, I don't want to sit there. I don't want to stand out and have to hold the hose. So I'm waiting for that guy and stuff, and he's smelling his clothes, just smelling. He's not even pumping gas. He's at the gas pump and just smelling and changing his clothes. So I had to back up and finally go to the other pump
So
because
PSA,
it's diesel. So
when
there's
you're
only
at
two
gas,
pumps.
exactly. When you're at the gas station, pump your gas
Yeah.
and get out of the way, please.
The other one that bothers me is when it's a place. Bucky's is different because Bucky's has 3,000 pumps.
Yes.
But when you have a gas station that has a convenience store and you get your gas and there's people waiting, don't walk inside and get your pop and make them
Yeah.
wait.
Just
Just pull
drive
up to the
up there.
front.
Pull up.
That's the one that bugs me the most.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that.
So moving on to the next one here. What you pouring there,
Yeah.
Rob?
Yeah, so this is the Explorer. This is a straight bourbon finished with French and Appalachian oak staves coming in at 103 proof and 6 years of age.
It's beautiful.
Appalachian oak.
Appalachian oak.
Appalachian. This is Gypsy, correct? Again.
Yeah, still
Yes,
just
yeah, all four, the first four are going to be all whiskey gypsy. The first three we have on the bar here.
Man, I got something. I did that, kind of big slug to get rid of what I had in my glass. And there's some nice little note of citrus
Yeah,
there. I want to say almost like the sweet side of grapefruit, which is a bit odd.
that's nice.
So did you guys see the news story I posted in the group this morning?
I did, yeah.
So I'll share this.
I saw Fox posted it today
Yeah.
too.
In Thornton, Illinois, at a distillery, it was Thornton Distilling Co. discovered a loaded gun to be more than a century old while exploring part of their historic building that they think is traced back to Al Capone.
That's
You know,
crazy.
Janelle showed me that whole video and everything this morning.
How crazy is that?
That's kind of
wild.
cool. That's
It
kinda
was
cool.
still loaded.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Thornton Distillery?
Well, there's no point in
I
I
another
hadn't
gun.
even heard of it before.
Yeah, I've never been there. Where in Illinois is it?
Thornton, Illinois.
Chicago
Okay.
area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me look it up, 'cause
Chicagoland,
now I'm
which
curious what they
Capone was.
sell.
Al Capone spent a lot of time in Chicago.
Yeah.
Maybe they can get some DNA. off
What
it.
is it? Was it a
Off the
Tommy
gun.
gun?
No, it's just a handgun.
It was a
Oh, it was a
handgun.
handgun. Okay.
Yeah, it was a Colt, just a regular Colt gun. I think they said they thought it was like maybe a 380 or 9 something like that.
That would have been a lot cooler if it was a Tommy gun.
It would have been.
It would've been a
Yeah,
hell of
I
a
think
lot
they said
cooler.
it was an old 1908 to 1920 9mm.
Yeah.
So I've been rewatching the show Bones, which was like 12 seasons.
That's a great show.
It's a
man.
great show, right? And I'm on like season 7. So I've just been binging it. It's just kind of what I turn on in the background.
Yeah.
But I kind of wonder if they'll end up taking that and doing some tests and finding like striations and matching it up to
Well,
some
they
old
did.
murder.
They did take it. The police department did take it for ballistic testing.
It's
but-
going to be crazy if they find out like that could have been a gun that would have convicted Al Capone, because he was never convicted of murder, if I remember correctly. I think he was all financial crimes.
Yeah, his was all financial.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
was-
all tax evasion stuff.
That was the
Yeah.
gun that killed Mary Antoinette.
Didn't Buffalo Trace find like a unused like warhead,
Yeah,
a bomb?
That was-
like,
that was a
on
while
the
ago.
property?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So Thornton Distilling, they have all sorts of stuff: some clear spirits, some bourbon, some RTDs. Dead Drop whiskey is what it is. So there's Dead Drop bourbon, Dead Drop pecan, then RTD old fashioned. Then they have gin, absinthe, and vodka, and they also have kosher things.
Oh, okay.
So
Tyler from the Bearded Guys
Cool.
joining us in the chat.
heck yeah, Tyler.
So what's
So
the what's
Tyler?
the sweet thing? I like my initial was like a butterscotch something, but I know I'm wrong.
No, I mean it's
You're never wrong. Whatever if you're tasting, it's
Is
your
it-
it's what you're
The
remembering.
initial smell.
But in this case, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's not oatmeal.
Okay.
hey,
Hey,
hey.
hey,
I
it's
knew that was coming.
I get like a sweet oak note.
hey. Yeah,
on it.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
used to.
pulling a lot of
And there's
oats,
quite a
sweet
bit,
oak on
quite a bit of the wood on the palate.
That's
too
what
when you're
Appalachian
tasting it.
trees taste like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a nice oak spice on the finish too. It's really nice.
I almost think it's got a hint of a floral note in there.
I'm getting a
Just-
hint of mucus. Sorry, I know my riveting content of sneezes is going to be crazy today. I'll try to keep it to a minimum.
Yeah, it's very well balanced whiskey.
Yeah, it is. The first sip had,
Does have
had a
some
lot
sweetness.
more. I felt like it was. It could have gotten a little bit more wood than you want, but once you have your second sip, it's like it balances out so nice.
Yeah.
It's got a good oak finish to it.
It does.
Oh yeah, the tannin
does.
levels are great on it.
Yeah.
They
It's
are.
not
Yeah,
super over tannic, but it's definitely there.
Yeah.
What'd you say this was? 106?
3, 103.
103?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
It's
So
got
up a little
just
bit.
that
It tastes
perfect
higher
amount of
proof.
fruit.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say
86 is very low.
I'd say 110
Yeah.
or 108 somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I get the oak. I get a fair amount of oak in there.
Totally changed the cigar, by the way.
It did.
If you retro,
Spice drops.
spice drops. I feel like a little bit of that bacon fat note that I know is in this comes out just a touch.
I'm trying to retro to clear out my nasal cavity and it's just not happening.
Yeah,
It's just going
It's
back
coming
in.
out of your eyes instead
Yeah.
of your nose.
Yeah,
your nose is saying, "Forget it. Send it to the
it's just
lungs."
the right one.
I get a vegetal note when I retro now.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I'm thinking about peppers now in my head. Probably what it is, but
Yeah, we're all hungry. Ready to eat some chili.
yeah. So today is the chili cook-off. We had to postpone it from last week. So
Snowmageddon.
if you're listening to us live, know that you can come in 3:00. I think we're gonna have, I don't know, 8 to 10 chilies.
Something
wow.
like that. Yeah.
Wow, that's a
That's
lot
a
more
great-
than yeah.
I think that's what it sounded like.
I think only one person dropped out, but I think
That was me.
We're probably still.
No, I think
one or two.
I think
Yeah.
Mike and Will
So
both
me and you dropped out.
dropped
yeah.
out.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
And I'm not sure if Eric Grumbles is going to be coming or not. He might have been the other one. So we might still have 5 to 6. That'd be great.
Still
So-
good amount.
So I do like the idea that you can use this cold weather to act as an outdoor refrigerator,
Yeah.
which is what I did when I made my chili on Tuesday. I did a Texas chili, and I took the pot and I set it on my back porch. I go to get it this morning and I can't move it.
oh no. Had to chisel it out.
Yeah, so I ended up getting almost 2 gallons of water. My hot water comes out at about 135.
Ooh.
It took like 2 gallons of 135-degree water to get it to finally come loose.
Wow.
That's
now,
awesome.
I will say a PSA: if your windows are frozen in your car, don't throw hot water on them.
No.
Bad
This was a
idea.
cast iron pot
Yeah.
on concrete. Okay, nothing
There's
was
a
gonna
great
happen.
video online of a guy with a Tesla doing that on
Oh,
the roof.
Oh no!
Oh,
It's convertible now.
Of course it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Hot water is
Oh.
not what you do there.
That's
scrape
crazy.
it. Just scrape it.
Yeah. We went to breakfast this morning. I was shocked that the air temperature was 6 below
Yeah.
this morning.
what time do you guys get up?
I was up at 2:30.
We were up at 8 this
I
morning.
was still in
yeah.
bed at 10.
Dude, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I looked at 9
I
and
was
it
still
said
awake
minus,
at
minus
2:30.
13 on my BAM weather app.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. it was
Yeah.
very
Are you a
cold.
Clarity member?
I am.
Are you? I'm thinking about joining.
I
it.
am.
You know,
I love it.
I
Yeah.
love
He's
Clarity. Michael and the group down there in BAM, they do an awesome job. I
They
think
do.
we're looking at having trying
Him and
to
Wilkes.
invite him and
Him and Brian Wilkes
Brian
together.
Wilkes
Some point,
onto
yeah.
the show. Talk a little bit about weather.
Yeah.
Maybe we get into springtime. We'll have some storms coming through, so that'd be a fun time to get those guys on. And both Michael and Brian are cigar fans, and
Yes, they are.
I think Michael does a lot of sweet
He
cigars.
does.
yeah.
I think his
I
favorites
know-
like the Fat Bottom
I know what we
Betties and
could
stuff like
do.
that.
We could start a storm chasing segment,
There you go.
and we'll
I'm down.
follow the storm from the blind pig to
Music
Turkey's.
box
Yeah,
to
that
the
one.
gas station.
To the gas. So we'll just follow it from there to there.
Yeah, yeah.
After that, you're on your
You're
own.
It's a
your
quarter
own,
mile.
yes,
We can
yes.
tell you exactly what's happening.
But
within a
from
quarter
that
mile.
wall to this wall, we will
Until the
let you
siren
know.
goes off, and then you won't hear a thing.
No,
Right,
no,
right.
No,
So we will definitely take a BAM sponsorship.
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
I can scare locals for
and
sure.
I will say, BAM was on that big storm from day one.
Oh yeah, like
You
a
got
week
it
and a
right.
half
Their
ahead.
forecast
They
models
were
were
right
dead
on.
on. Yeah.
They were right on.
Well, they were calling the shift in the north too,
Yeah.
Yeah,
because like
yeah. I told
every-
you a week
everything
ahead of
originally
time.
was Indy
Yeah.
and below, and there was nothing like Illinois and up. And then Wednesday comes around, they're like, yeah, we're gonna get hammered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So and
Yeah.
we did.
yeah.
We ended up with about 12.
I
Yes.
think this whiskey would pair really good with chili. Like I
Oh,
want
yeah.
to try it with some
Ooh.
chili later.
If you haven't
Yeah.
done like chili while having a cigar and bourbon, I'd say
Mhm.
that that's a disservice. You
Yeah.
need to try it.
I was gonna say
think
last
we
year
were
when
all
we did
shocked.
this, it
Yeah.
really blew
There
our
are
minds.
certain foods that I love to have a cigar while I'm eating. I know it's a weird thing. A lot
I
of
think
people don't
chili's
like
one
to
of
do it.
them.
Chili be one of them.
It's the
a
meat.
good steak works well with
Yeah.
a cigar too. There are certain other dishes that don't work, but
So since I'm not competing today, I'll go ahead and tell you what it is, which I think I did last week. But my chili recipe that I tried out last week was a bourbon maple chili, and it was with short ribs and ground chuck. Really fatty, really oily. So I didn't use much of the sauce from like the tomatoes. Just kind of let the fat kind of get in there for
Yeah.
some greasiness. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Probably could have taken out a little bit more of the fat. I definitely used the wrong bourbon. I used C925.
Okay,
So
that's very sweet.
it was
Yeah.
very sweet,
Yeah.
very hot. What I did, so when I'm reading this recipe that I found, all it had you do was add the bourbon in at the end. And I'm like, that's dumb.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
wanna
didn't have
cook
time
it.
to cook out.
No,
Yeah.
so what I did was I ground my meats, made my mixture, and then I poured a cup of Elijah Craig in the
In the
meat
meat,
mixture,
yeah.
let it sit for like 4 or 5 hours, and then I cooked the meat with it.
Oh yeah,
That may not have been the greatest way to go because it didn't cook out as much as I thought it would have, and it was very pungent.
I mean,
was
it
it?
makes sense though.
Yeah,
Why-
so
why
I,
you
I
do
tried
it,
it that
yeah.
way. I think next time what I'll do is I'll kind of make a roux with like the onions,
Okay,
and when I'm cooking the onions and the tomato sauce, I'll do olive oil, onions, my peppers, and then cook the bourbon with the onions, kind of get it boiling a little
maybe
bit.
just flambe it too.
Yeah,
Well,
something-
here's
So
what,
it's
here's
just
what
to
I'd
get,
say
it
is
needs to be hotter.
deglaze.
Yes.
So
That's it,
get
yeah.
your onions a nice little caramelization where you're
And
leaving
then
little
deglaze
brown
with
bits
the
and then
whiskey.
deglaze with the whiskey.
I'll have to try it.
And you
Anytime
might want to
you're-
do that outside if you're gonna flambe.
Yes, but anytime you're cooking with alcohol, like if you're doing it with a white wine or a red wine, and like what I've cooked a few things this past week and stuff, you actually want to cook it out and stuff
do.
at the beginning and stuff. You usually do it to deglaze.
Yeah.
The pan.
It's
and
my
all
number
that,
one
and
flaw
and you
in,
cook it. You cook that out.
Like
Yeah.
boeuf bourguignon,
Yes.
right? Burgundy beef.
Yes.
Or when I do tomato sauces from scratch. Yeah, there's been a couple times where I have not cooked the wine out enough,
yeah.
and it does leave.
Because you were too
a
busy
s-
sampling it.
Of course, yeah, yeah. I was, half a cup for the deglazing, and 2/3 of a bottle for me.
But you can smell it, like
Yeah.
when you're cooking, stuff. You can smell the initial when you pour it in the alcohol. You can smell it. You always want to just keep trying to smell it. Walk away from it, and, go away, and then come back to
Yep.
it and stuff a little bit, and then you can smell if it's cooked out or not.
Hello.
So,
See,
How are you?
I wonder in
Yeah.
a chili
Nice to
if
meet
that
you.
rye would be better in a chili.
See, I think it might because the spice
Yeah.
that comes out of even like
It might
Kalu
marry
rye
together
would
better.
probably be. It's a little less proofy,
Yeah.
and then has more spice level than like a regular Elijah Craig barrel proof. So,
Mhm.
Or chocolate malt.
dude, actually, yeah,
That could be
winter
really
whiskey
good.
might be good, or like Woodford chocolate malted rye.
Yeah.
That could be really
Now,
good.
I did put half a can of Guinness in my chili,
Okay.
but I didn't bother to let it cook out because it's not a high alcohol content.
Yeah.
Just let it
Correct,
simmer
right.
with it.
Guinness is like
5%.
I think it's actually
4.2.
4.2.
Yeah, something like it. Yeah.
And if you get original Guinness, then it's actually 3.8.
Yeah,
3.8,
exactly. Yeah.
Yes, lots of people are like, "Oh, Guinness, so strong."
Do you know the
not
story,
alcohol
Do you know the
strong.
story behind Guinness?
It's a breakfast beer originally.
It was literally designed to be a beer because everyone in Ireland likes to drink till they're completely plastered. So they actually literally, it was Os Guinness, the big church guy. And he created this to try to stop drunkenness.
Interesting.
And it became a massive brand and everyone drank it. And he
Sorry,
actually
but it
kept
didn't
doing
work.
it. Well, it didn't work
Yeah.
because they drank
more of
12
it.
of them
Yeah.
instead of 3.
Yeah.
Well, so it's interesting what, this is a few hundred years ago, but beer used to be the only thing that you drank like in old England,
Yeah.
Drink the
right?
water. Yeah.
So they would actually run beer 3 times, right? So you do your mash and you would drain it, and that was strong beer. You'd fill it back up with water and drain it again, and then you'd do it a 3rd time. So you had strong beer, regular beer, and weak beer. And weak beer was served even to kids because they didn't understand boiling the water was what made it safe to drink.
Yeah.
And so they were boiling it with the grain to make the mash and then draining it out. And of course, there's less and less sugar available, right? Each time that you're doing that with the same grain, it's less sugar there. So you're going to have lower alcohol content. And so that's what they drank. They didn't drink water because water would make you sick. And they didn't know it was that you had to boil it.
Good
So
old
Coors-
Oregon Trail dysentery.
Exactly.
So Coors Light is done with like 12, washout barrels.
That's a totally, yeah. So like lagers, they came from cold areas. I mean, you could only do lager in the winter because you had to let it sit and ferment for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me the number of like square acres in the United States that are kept at 32 to 34 degrees because of the amount of lager that's drank in the United States.
That's insane.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, like the cold fermentation area in Golden, Colorado for Coors, it's like a mile. It's a mile long next to the river, all 34 degrees, the whole thing. And they just got millions and millions and millions of gallons sitting in fermenters for 6 weeks at a time.
And that's why if you go to your local craft distillery and you're always asking them to do lagers, some of them can't do it because
Yeah.
they don't
Right.
have the ability to cool it
They're
down.
only going to do ales.
Exactly. Yep.
Yep. And ales, you can kick your AC on. You can keep it about 65 degrees. And
Yep.
fermentation is an exothermic process. It creates
It creates heat. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll get up 2 or 3 degrees. You'll actually have 65 degrees in the room. Your beer will be 68 because it's creating heat while all that eating and creating alcohol and
So if your
Burping
furnace
out.
goes out, just brew.
exactly. There you go.
This is a damn good cigar. I haven't
It
had
really
this for
is.
a long time, but I think I'm gonna buy a couple to make up the trip for me to
This,
Austin this week.
There you go.
With this bourbon here, it's almost pulling out more of almost like a mineral note. Especially on the retro, the spice
Yeah.
kind of dissipated a little bit.
You're right.
It's a little bit earthy, but it's not quite leather, but it's definitely got almost like a grain or an earth note to it.
It's got that kind of it's always a terrible note to say, but it's got that kind of mushroomy earthiness to it.
Kind of.
I
Well, that's the meaty part
Yeah.
we
I
were
mean,
talking
I can see
about.
that.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yep.
transitioning to that, and that's why we're getting the
Yep.
almost the earthy kind of mushroom note.
I was gonna say the second, third reminded me so much of the Belgian Blue.
Mhm.
That
It does.
mushroom earthy.
Yep.
This has
note.
been a great cigar. I know Will smoked a lot of these.
Yeah.
And we just kind of sold out the last ones. I got these new ones. This cigar is one of those cigars though that with age gets amazing. A little bit of strength kicks down on it, but the flavor just continues to pop. So if you're one of those guys like to throw a few in your humidor, this is one you can smoke one now and then smoke one in a couple months, and it's going to be a little bit different.
It's a box worthy buy.
And it's
Absolutely,
it's
it
a
is,
great
yeah.
price point
No,
too.
so
It
like-
is,
like-
yeah. This is still just under $12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
That's
I'm looking for
with
a
the new
replacement.
taxes.
I'm looking for a replacement for Belgian Blue because it's not out right now.
Yeah,
This
is
is
it for
actually
me.
cheaper than the
Yeah,
Belgian Blue.
this is
Yeah.
it for me right
yeah,
here.
yep,
So again, pairing of the month
yep,
will be the Rojas and any of the whiskey gypsies
yes.
that are on the
And we
block.
have
three
we
that
have
are on
both
the
the,
three
that are
the
on the
Robusto and the Toro in this. So if you want a little bit shorter smoke, you can get the Robusto as well.
Yeah, that's great.
Why don't we hit a quick commercial?
Let's do it. Blow my nose.
Final Third Cigar is Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge. Come to Final Third for a selection of over 20 different Aladino cigars, including the Cameroon, a wonderful cigar with nice light flavors. Make sure and visit Final Third, the Aladino exclusive cigar lounge for Indiana. Thank you, Aladino.
Thanks, Aladino.
Including the Cameroon.
All right, so
You really hate that I had that in there, don't you? That was not in the
Cameroon.
script. But I was like, I feel like
The
That's
one
good,
time
I
he
mean-
ad libs, he's like, the Cameroon.
it's
the
funny
Cameroon."
because Aladino
I love the
is
Cameroon.
known for their Corojo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julio is just the master of Corojo, and his Corojo is still, I think, the best in the world. But that Cameroon, when he put that on the market, it became like, oh, this is Aladino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone loved it. And now they go back try the Corojo, and they fall in love with the brand. So, all right, so we're going to get on to the Gypsy Legacy. This one is a blend of the 3 different age whiskey. You got Canadian, American whiskey, and
Indian.
Indian. Thank you. And so this one's actually, what does it say? Born of poets and pioneers.
Yeah, I remember
special.
the book that he shipped this in.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this was the one that came in like the big book that
well,
had that
and this is
story.
a pricier bottle. I can't remember MSRP.
I
on
think
the
this one
bottle.
might be $199.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
So this one actually comes with this awesome coin, which is kind of glued down.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
2 of them that come with the coins.
it's actually, well, that coin really didn't come off though.
Yeah.
This one
Oh,
does.
I thought that one did.
Well, you could
Well, I
pry
mean,
it
We
out.
can make it come out.
Yeah.
But this one, I mean, I was telling Al, I was like, here you go, buddy. You got you
A golf
coin for your
marker.
golf. Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of a cool presentation.
That's a great idea. This is the bottle we need to take when we go golfing.
Oh, there you go.
And then that's your ball marker.
Just bring the
Of
bottle
course, it's
on the edge of the green.
Yeah. Well, don't mark my ball because it'll be in the water. It's a wishing well at that
It's a
point.
wishing well. Oh, sorry, I pushed it all the way down. This
So
cork
if
is a
you
little
give
tight.
if you dump the coin in, do you get to place your ball without the penalty shot? Is that
Well,
the-
you get to make a wish.
you
so-
trade the coin for a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out of town this week, going to Austin and stuff. But
Oh,
also-
are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
What
have
is
to
it
work
like?
this week.
38 degrees down there?
No, it's actually it was 70 the other day. It's gonna
Yeah.
be all in 60s next week. So
Oh, good for you.
I'm gonna laugh at Orange beaches him and he goes down there and it snows.
no.
So
Well,
this,
North Carolina's getting smacked right now. so-
yeah,
They
my-
had North Carolina had a 100+ car pile up on I-85. They had to call the
Ooh.
National Guard in
That was
to come
before
in
it
and
started
clear
snowing.
cars, and that was during the blizzard condition when it first started snowing down there.
that's
Did I
when
say-
everybody was coming back from getting milk and bread at Kroger.
Did they say Myrtle Beach has snow
Yep.
on the
Yes.
beach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Outer Banks got
Yeah,
hammered.
I grew up an hour, so my parents had about 8 inches of snow this morning.
Wow.
Yeah,
Man.
about an hour inland from Myrtle Beach. So I just want to say the legacy. Okay, this is a colonial Maryland style rye mash bill, but it's built with MGP. Well, a bold Indiana rye that's been finished in apple brandy barrels from the Mount Vernon distillery. From the historic, area where
George
George
Washington.
Washington's distillery is. And then it's also finished with a Canadian corn whiskey, rebarreled in New American oak, and an aromatic Virginia single malt.
Do you remember what Greg told us when we talked to him about why this bottle became to be this bottle? That these whiskeys were on the way to Russia.
Russia, yep.
And he said, no, they're not. So he
Yeah.
bought them and ended up with this blend. It's the greatest like American story. It was like, you know what? Russia's going to end up with these barrels of whiskey.
How about no?
How about,
No, they're not.
how about no?
How about Greenland?
How,
Sorry,
how about no?
couldn't help it.
Yeah.
So he bought all of these barrels. I don't remember what he said he did with them, but it was way too many that he could store at the time. So ended up contracting it out and then ended up with this bottle. And what an insane blend that this is with the Indian and the Canadian in there. It's
The nose on this one
so
too is like
good.
it's more of a savory
It's,
nose.
Yeah.
it's definitely more
nose,
unique than the other two.
It's got a little confectioner sugar
Yeah.
note, and it totally connects with the palate. Sometimes we get these that are way different between the nose and the palate. I feel like this one connects really, really well between those two.
still sweet, still a little bit of sweetness on the tongue.
Yeah, that's from that corn whiskey.
I can't remember what the
I do
proof of this
taste the
one is.
apple brandy in it. Though.
I do too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do too.
100%.
It's not
Yeah.
overpowering, but it's definitely noticeable.
Yeah, like the last one we had there. The nose was sweet. The taste was oaky.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
yeah.
it did finish with a little sweet oak at the end,
Correct.
but yeah, I totally agree with you. It was like the oak was pretty prevalent.
Yes.
But I
Amazing
feel like what
finish.
you get on the nose on this really just connects to the palate,
What's the proof there, Rob?
This one's coming in at 115.74.
which I don't think it tastes
That's
quite
beautiful.
that
It
that
doesn't.
hot.
If we were blind tasting, I would have said the second one was a higher proof than this one.
I'd agree.
I'm with you.
Different tannins.
And you're
yeah.
talking, 13 points different, 12,
Hey,
almost 13
Yeah,
points
the oak
different.
on this one kind of dials down a little bit, and you get more of a. It almost is like a weird balance between the like a fruit and vegetative.
It's that apple brandy.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I taste
there's-
the apple brandy in this.
There's a 8-year age statement on this, but there's 25-year whiskey in this as well. in this
Yeah.
blend.
Wow.
So,
This episode brought to you by Mucinex.
We'll take your money.
damn, I mean, shout out to Ari.
Uh-huh.
Like this guy can blend, man.
Sussman.
He's talented.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff coming out of Whiskey Gypsy. We've turned a lot of people on to Whiskey Gypsy
Yeah.
since we did that first episode.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's hard not to be a fanboy of Whiskey Gypsy after
Oh.
trying like this specific variety right here is insane.
Is
Oh,
this
the-
new to the lounge? The-
Yeah.
It is.
It is
It's
now,
just new
yeah,
to the
okay.
state.
The finish on that one just explodes.
Yeah. I'm right.
It's long.
This is new to the state, right? We just got
Correct.
this recently.
Yeah, it's only been here for a couple
Just a
weeks.
couple weeks,
Yeah.
Who
yeah.
brought this one in?
Small batch.
Small batch,
Heck
guys.
yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
small
Yeah.
batch,
There you
yeah.
go. Good job.
Thank
job,
you.
Small
Thank you,
Batch.
Will Breeden.
Shout out to
Thank
Small
you, Miller.
Batch.
Appreciate that.
So now we're doing, Desnuda is a sponsor of the Pacers now.
Yeah.
So we have a
saw that.
replay wipe for them and also in-game elements. We actually have a pregame hit now where the MCs go to the concourse and take shots. It's kind of
Oh,
amusing.
awesome.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
that's
We
good.
should
Yeah.
do that for the players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Look, they're doing fine. Leave them alone.
Doing fine.
They're
Fine.
doing fine.
No, I mean, you
We
should
won
do it for the
yesterday.
players. That'd be a fun little skit.
Are they
Take a
trying to
shot
get
at
rid of
Van
the,
Dude and go
the,
play.
the number one overall pick?
I know.
Look,
what
we
are the-
just
what are
have
the
to be.
Pacers doing?
We just have to be the bottom third.
Bottom
It's
third.
fine.
It's
We
fun.
just win every other game, and it's good. It's fine.
Are we
don't wanna be the
mathematically
last.
eliminated yet from the playoffs?
No,
No, it's too early. for
We
that
haven't
thing.
failed to fail yet.
no, we're seeking the play-in spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, this is how it happens. We're gonna get a really good person on the trade. We're gonna get rid of Matherin. We're gonna get somebody awesome, and then we're gonna make a really long playoff run again.
And Furphy's going to take over the whole game.
Only,
It's gonna be
only to
great.
disappoint everybody right at the end.
Right.
So I said this last week. I was editing videos to submit for our Emmy submissions, and two of the videos I picked one was Game 4 of the finals, one was Game 6 of the finals. Well, we lost Game 4 when we were up by 20,
Yeah.
and then we won Game 6 of the finals to push to Game 7. And after going through all this footage, I was like, man, I regret volunteering to edit this. And they were like, why? Was it a lot of work? I was like, no, it's just sad. It's like it was so sad. Like 7 months ago, we were like so full of emotion and like
See, that's your
everything
video.
was great. I
That's your
know.
video for the smaller video you had to do. that you had
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
You just sitting there crying.
Yeah.
Well, so I actually looked up like games.
He's the
game,
teardrop Indian
Yeah.
watching the replays of last season.
Game
And the
7.
Emmy goes to.
Yeah.
Game 7 of the finals, we did a watch party, and Evan, the guy I work with, was like, we had a Snoop camera up in the control room recording. He was like, "Show me the moment where you found out Tyrese tore his Achilles." I was like, "All right." So I scrubbed through and I looked for it, and all of a sudden, halfway through, I'm just sitting here like this,
Oh,
Yeah.
zero
that was a
emotion,
sad
just
day in
uh,
Indiana Nation for
Yeah.
sure.
So, yeah,
Hey, by the way,
it's
the,
hard to watch again.
the curse of Allen did work again yesterday. The Indiana was playing UCLA. They
Ooh,
were
survived
losing.
two
I
OT.
left.
He left.
I
And then they
left to
won.
go home and stuff, and I didn't even turn it on. Next thing that I heard, they won.
Yeah.
I said the curse of Allen is still
That was a good
alive.
game.
Alive and kicking.
Still alive.
That was a good game.
By the way, we're talking about sports. Shout out to Detroit boy that was in here the other night. He was giving me a bunch of crap saying that they were going to beat up on the Avalanche. Avalanche went 5-0.
5-0.
Thank you very
There you
much.
go.
We do play again tomorrow though, so we'll see.
Avs been
game.
crushing it still. So
And they've been struggling a little bit lately, but they're still
this
up
is a
nine-
great season.
They're still up 9 points
Yeah.
on the entire league, and they're struggling right now. I'm like, okay, we're okay, we're fine.
Yeah.
Our
We're fine.
our friends over at the Indy Fuel,
They're doing well.
they're picking it up.
They
Yeah.
have been.
They
Yeah.
I thought they started off so bad.
It was really bad.
well, when
and-
you had
and then all-
86 new players. I mean,
Yeah.
That was
like I
it.
said, it's going to
I
take
do
a while.
feel like they're playing pretty well together right now.
They seem to have kind of figured out
Yep.
the team play, and it's
I mean,
almost like they kind of. I feel like Coach Duncan must be telling them something at intermission, like they kind of fall into these bad elements where they act like a bunch of 5-year-olds and swarm to the puck,
Yeah,
and then he goes into intermissions like, "You guys are swarming like a bunch of 5-year-olds,"
yeah.
and they come out in the second period,
And
and
stop.
now they're all spread out,
Yeah.
So that was
and their passing improves. And
that was a great change from last year, because last year and the previous year it was dump and run,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Lot
And
of
then
Hey, that's what I was going to
early
say.
on in this season, at least, I haven't been to a game in probably a month or two, but
Yeah,
the couple games I went to with Scott and Janelle, they were much more organized on the offensive end, and even weeks had much better defense and goal.
Well,
It was amazing.
shout out to Duncan Burt because that is Duncan's style of coaching is dump and run.
Yeah.
And he's always been that kind of coach.
You gotta
And you
change,
know
though.
what? That's the one thing we complained so much about last year was you gotta stop. I mean, you're an ECHL. You're not skating at 24 mile an hour to go get that puck.
Yeah.
What was that last game that we went to? Was that a Comets game? There was
I
Kalamazoo.
think it was
Kalamazoo,
It was
yeah,
with when we were
K-Wings.
playing
Yep.
K-Wings. What was that? 5-2 or something? We ended up winning.
Yeah,
But like
did.
we were peppering them the whole second
Yeah.
quarter. I mean, we got down 1-0 in the first one. We're like, oh,
Yeah, I
here we
think we're
go.
over 30 shots on goal that game.
Yeah.
I want to get out to a game.
was-
I haven't been to
It
one yet
was
this year.
insane. Just seeing the puck handling and like the improvement of like the teamwork was great.
Yeah,
And that's what
say
they
that
need
was-
to do.
That was a big thing we complained about last year was just there wasn't a passing game. It was literally just send it forward and
Who
hope for
can
the
take a
best.
shot at
Yeah.
whatever point. Like,
Yeah.
And
it's
then, you know-
definitely, I mean, look, I hate when you have that much turnover on the team. It makes it really hard as a fan
Yeah.
to find some consistency in the players that you've really enjoyed watching for a couple of years. But you had to extend a little bit of patience.
Yeah.
And it's obviously a different team.
same thing with like CBA talks. Like we missed what 2 games because they were
Yeah,
in strike
it-
with
It
CBA.
ended pretty quick.
And there were quite a few players that were out there that spoke up, and a couple of them were like, "Oh yeah, we definitely deserve this," and went like the WNBA route where they were like, "We deserve millions of dollars." And then there were the other guys that recognized that they play in a farm league,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Look, if you don't like this, go to Aldi.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
pay $17 an hour. It's like you can go there.
They do?
Yeah, it's like go
And
get
you
a
get to
job.
sit down when you ring people out.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You don't have to stand.
So, there's a lot of players that recognize that the whole goal is to get to the next level.
Yeah.
The goal is not to stay in the ECHL or
Or
the AHL.
To be able to play a game for a living for a few more years
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
before you join
You
the
literally
regular workforce.
exercise for a living and you're getting paid for it, regardless
Yeah.
of the amount of money.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and that was great on those players that spoke up on that.
I think one of
Yeah.
the big sticking points was the kind of the NIL aspect of it
Yeah.
was that they didn't get anything for
Shit revenue sharing of
there was
merch
not, and they
and
couldn't like use their
team
names
things.
personally.
Yeah.
at
So-
all. So I think some of that got changed. I
And
don't
while
know
we're
how
on
it
that
ended up.
subject, let's talk about the whole suing the NCAA getting back into college sports with these professional athletes. 10 years ago, 5 years ago, when you declared for the draft in any sport, you were done.
You're done.
Yeah.
You
That was it.
forfeited your
No
eligibility.
more amateur.
You could not remove that, and you could not add your eligibility back.
No backwards.
Now there's
yeah.
players that are playing in the NBA, playing in the G League for an extended period of time.
I know there's a
10
guy who
games
was
or more,
10 games in the NBA.
And now
he wants
he's
to come
Amari
back to
Bailey,
college.
Yeah.
trying to go back to college.
Cash
Sorry.
in. Cash in. What are you
Sorry.
trying to do?
He
Yeah.
hasn't been
But
in
you
class
also
in
have
2
to,
years.
you have to ask the question:
Yeah.
Is
Carson.
it amateur sports?
It is now.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't think so. They're
there's-
getting paid.
You're
I
getting
mean,
paid.
yeah,
they get
there's-
paid by the school. They get paid
Yeah.
for NIL.
There's a
It's
lot of
not
sports
amateur
once you
anymore.
Yeah.
well, it's just like in fighting. Once you leave the amateur class and go into actual professional, you can't go back.
Right.
But that's because the amateurs are not getting paid.
Yeah.
Right. That's
But
the
I mean
idea.
that should that be a criteria that needs to be withheld though? Once you
That's the way it always was.
once you get
Amateur-
in there, you can't go back because you've made it.
Amateur is
I mean,
now
Now you
high
have
school.
to prove yourself. You can't just
Yeah.
go
Well,
backwards.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
Until
amateurs
the
high school. You're not
NBA
getting paid.
Until the NBA put together the dream team, the Olympics, it was all amateur. Then
Right.
all of a sudden we're like, oh, so you can pay players as professionals and have them come to the Olympics. Now, how many professionals are in the Olympics? I kind of like the idea of the amateur, but now you're getting the point, especially in college sports with basketball and football now too. You couldn't put. I mean, it'd be high school kids.
Well,
It'd be
Olympics has
impossible
even
to do
changed as
Olympics.
well because now Olympic athletes get a minimum 250
Okay,
to be an Olympic athlete.
that's cool.
And that's
That's cool.
U19 and up. Doesn't matter what class you are of Olympian.
That's cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like those are high school, college kids that maybe 18, 19 years old that are going into this getting 250, and
Yeah.
then they expect the moon.
Yeah.
So they go to the league for a year, and then they're like, "Oh, I forgot. Like, I think I'm still enrolled at Stanford.
I'll
Yeah.
go. I'll go back to college.
I'm still eligible. Yeah.
Oh my god, I haven't been to class in 4 weeks."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I
they
mean-
got to go back, and it's like,
Look, at the end of the day, you are what somebody's willing to pay you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what your worth is.
Yeah.
And I think that you gotta support that. And if it means that we don't have the amateur sports that we used to have, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think if you look at the amount of money that these kids spend to try and get, I mean, to be a D1 basketball player,
Oh,
you know, there's very few of these guys that are just that talented out of high school and that's
Yeah.
it. Right? They have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, private coaches, and you know, they're putting in all the extra time and effort to do it. They are making it a career at a very young age.
So this begs like most important thing in my life is my career. And that these college kids are getting paid NIL money to rep these brands. I feel like I should get NIL money for repping Nike every day. I wear Nike shoes. I work for the Pacers. I should get NIL money.
Yeah.
We use Panasonic equipment in the control room. Panasonic should pay us to use it.
Kickback.
Why are
Well,
we
look,
buying
let
anything
me,
anymore?
let
Good
me
luck
ask
with
you
that.
this. I mean,
I know, right? Like it hasn't worked yet. So
so like in my line of work, we have customers that will allow us to use them as success stories. Okay. And there are considerations given to customers that are willing to do that. It could be
partnerships.
you know, and it lots of times it's going to be discounts or it's going to be, hey, we'll bring you out to our big conference out in Vegas and we're going to wine and dine you for 7 straight days. You're going to eat at
Done.
the best restaurants,
Yeah.
like all that kind of stuff. And look, you went to your first conference
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, NAB
Yeah.
went to
I'm
Cattleman's
pretty sure
twice.
that you probably went to some pretty good restaurants.
We
out
did,
there.
yeah.
I'm pretty
Cattleman's
sure
twice.
you probably didn't pay the bill. Panasonic picked that up.
Yeah,
or-
100%.
Yeah.
WJHW, Panasonic, EVS, all those guys.
So the question becomes like, you know, are you getting paid? Well, yeah, you technically are. Now you can even take it a step further and you look at like social media. There are people that absolutely get sponsorships, get paid because they use a brand and they talk about it
Yep.
very publicly. And they do it on their own accord and they get enough followers, they get enough people that are subscribing to their channels.
Tobacco.
They're getting paid.
Tobacco. Bring it back to tobacco.
Man, I wish
10 years ago, 15 years ago, kids in high school and college smoking cigarettes, posting pictures at parties. What ends up happening? Marlboro ends up using it for an ad.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
can sell to college kids now.
yeah.
So that's when you start, you know, realizing what you're posting on social media. The same thing with cigars. Like, oh, I'm at Final Third. I'm at the lounge. What do? You tag the lounge.
Yeah.
You tag Aladino. Now you're getting free publishing or free, you know,
Yep.
sharing of likeness.
And by the way,
for
if you
your-
have
for your
2,500
ideas.
followers, then
It
when
means
the
a little
Aladino
more.
rep comes into
Yeah.
Final Third, you're probably going to get a couple extra
Yeah.
cigars. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you that's how it's going to work.
Not
Yeah.
to discredit things like the membership that McAuliffe has with their ambassadors,
Right.
because like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
But like
that's the
when you're
point.
doing that, like you're sharing in that
Yeah.
group.
That's
They
NIL.
want you to do
Yeah,
that.
You're
that
building
is
brand
NIL.
But
other
there-
than regular
But
fame.
then you have brand loyalty, you have
Yep.
kickback on it because they do their Fab Five, you get gift cards, you get things
Yeah.
like that's the thing is that if you're gonna do it, something should come back, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, nothing's
and,
free
it's-
anymore.
and these college kids were basically indentured servants. You know, I mean,
100%.
you go back and well, watching Bones, there was a kid that, you know, bad situation and he had a disease. He was not going to get drafted. He was like going to be the number one overall pick, but he found out that he had this debilitating disease,
Which
and then
excluded him. Yeah.
there was no way he was getting
Yeah.
drafted, and so he just started taking money from everyone.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, watching it, it was like a reminder of what it used to be like.
Yeah.
That movie Blue Chips back in the
Oh,
day,
yeah.
all about these college kids getting paid and
Yeah.
you know
Now, I
that
don't-
movie Basketball. Everybody knows that
Basketball, love
Shaq
that.
made his
Yeah.
made his money in LSU.
Yeah. Now, I don't bring this up to say that, you know, if you're posting a picture that you need to like directly reach out to a brand and say, you owe me. I don't ever think like you're owed anything.
No.
You're not.
But
There's no entitlement. Yeah.
yeah, everyone feels like they're entitled to something at this point and in this era that we live in now. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that you need to go out and do that,
No.
but there is a certain level of reciprocity between brands and like, you know, their patrons
yeah.
that, you know, can be
Cody said
appreciated.
Fave 5 from McAuliffe helps fund his Final Third habit.
Like he's won 5 times now.
I
Yeah.
know.
And the thing is,
Well,
he's
he
not
was
even
up for
close.
ambassador of the year too.
He was.
I mean,
Vince Kim, and he's been here before too. He wins all the freaking time.
Yeah.
I watch it and I'm like, well, Vince won another $50. Now he's office, so he's supporting the boys down at the office down South Indiana. But yeah, I mean that's a way to build loyalty, man. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's like credit card points. You got to spend $100,000 to get 100 points.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I
then
think,
you need 10,000 points to get a flight. So it's
Yeah.
like, what are you doing?
I think
Yeah.
you could get Nike to sponsor your production crew volleyball tournament. I mean, dodgeball. Dodgeball.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, I mean,
Dodgeball.
just know
yeah.
that if you do sponsor, I'm going out first round because I'm going to tear both quads again.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in good shape. Just
He complained
First and
about that for
foremost.
like a week and a half.
Oh my
afterwards.
You know, the funny thing is seeing like some of the videos that you've sent us where you're kind of in there and you're working and you're calling the show. It's impressive. Like it's,
Yeah, it is.
and I think that we have, you know, as American citizens, especially, I don't think this exists everywhere in the world, but as Americans, we love excellence, right? I mean, it's just inherent in our nature, in the birth of our country. And watching you guys do that, I'm like, man, I'd almost like pay a couple dollars a year just to be able to come and have like a live camera feed and watch
Just
that.
watch you guys.
Yeah, just have a couple
It's like
sponsorships. with
well,
like
I went in
Yeah.
and he showed me the studio one
yeah,
day.
we brought you in.
And walking in there and just
were doing
watching
pre-pro.
the crew. It was fun because I mean you were leading the crew. It was fun watching everyone kind of looking to Mike saying, you know, he says, do this and it's done. Do this, it's done. But then you had the one, a couple weeks ago or a week ago or so, where you're like, do this.
Anytime.
How about
this.
now?
And
How
then
about now?
it
Come
didn't
on.
happen. He's like, all
Screw
right,
it.
we're moving on.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? No one watching that
Yeah.
knew
Nobody
it
knows.
didn't happen.
Yeah.
I know.
You did, and you were
Yeah.
probably mad about it. You probably said, hey, dude,
Yeah.
pay attention. You know, it happens. But, you know,
Yeah.
to be able to pivot on that and make it professional.
After that,
is the
that guy
key.
turned around and he was like, "Why are you yelling at me?" I was like, "Cause I'm mad.
You didn't do your job.
I'm yelling because you didn't do what I said."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now,
man.
now, in your ear, can you hear everybody that has a camera? Everybody? That,
yeah. So
Yeah.
let's use Noblesville for an example. We have 4 cam ops there. We have 2 talent, 1 sideline reporter. I have an audio op, a camera shader, and a V2. And then I also have 2 engineers. So anywhere from 10 to 20 people in my headset at a time. That
That's
I'm,
crazy.
I'm
I mean, I
working
have
with,
voices
like
in my
directing.
head too, but that's a different story.
It's like air traffic control.
It's a lot, but like honestly, like that's where I thrive. Like I need chaos.
Yeah.
Like, you guys know.
You're
Like,
the
I
right
don't,
mentality.
I don't
for
sit
that.
still ever. So
Yeah.
Walter
it's
said
the
Walter
best
said
part.
he's entitled.
He is.
He
Yeah.
deserves
Yeah.
it.
Work's the only
Walter
place
does
that everybody does something for you at home. What do you say doesn't go
Right.
at all?
Yeah.
Beer. Get up.
I need
All
a
right.
beer in
Yeah.
3.
Your wife says,
So-
"Hey, this is
One,
not the
3.
studio. You get up and get your own drink."
Let's go ahead and get into the last whiskey gypsy bottle real quick too.
I will
'cause-
have to say, like the last pairing, the last bottle we did with the cigar was my favorite so far.
Yeah,
Good.
it definitely brought out the spice note started to kick up on the cigar a little bit. The almost like the meat or bacon fat. It transitioned from the mushroom a little bit into almost like a savory kind of meat
Yeah.
fat a little bit, and it kind of made it to where you just wanted that finish to just sit there.
Yeah.
So I had a hard time like finishing that off because I just wanted to sit on my palate
Right.
and then retro the cigar and let those flavors combine.
I like that each one of them did something different.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
You know, that
yeah.
first one I thought was really great with the cigar because all the spice stayed in the cigar.
Well,
But
and
as,
almost-
it transitioned, it's like everything kind of
The-
shifted.
and the timing of going from the lower proof to the higher proof to the to the last one we just tried,
yeah.
the cigar has transitioned with the bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you want from any vertical, right? I
is,
mean,
yeah.
Rob and I talked about this beforehand too, but maybe adding some K-Luke to some of the flights and
Mhm.
maybe getting the whiskey gypsies into the flight rotation.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you want variety from your brands. Like you don't want every single thing that tastes alike, even though they're different, you know, brands
Yeah.
or different varietals of corn or whatever.
Exactly.
Like
yeah.
that's the point of having a flight and having these brands like Whiskey Gypsy that are so different, even though some of them use the same product.
Yeah.
While we're pouring around, we'll get our second commercial break in here real quick.
Let me find it.
Thank you to sponsor Deadwood Live. Derek with Deadwood Live is producing top quality live edge products as well as bourbon themed furniture. If you've been in the lounge, you've seen the custom live edge table and barrel stools produced by Derek. Be sure to give him a like and follow on Facebook at Deadwood Live. That's DED Wood Live.
Well, thanks, Derek.
Shout out.
Thank you, Derek. from
Derek.
We still
Deadwood
love the
Live.
table. And by
Derek
the way,
Doddridge.
Lisa found some new cleaning stuff for the wood, and she was able to take out 95% of all the water marks on there.
Watermarks.
It
Wow.
looks so much better. And
Was it
that
like
table,
a pledge or
It's Old English.
Yeah.
Oh,
Some Old
okay.
English, yeah. Thank
Old
you.
English.
like a varnish
I
cleaner?
don't-
Old English fills in a lot of the stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So which is
Yeah, I use it on my
Well, she
hardwood
did it on
floors a lot.
she did it on the table the Derek did for us, and I mean it looked brand new. It
Isn't that a
is
malt
so
liquor
beautiful.
as well?
Old English.
Old English.
malt
Yeah.
liquor.
Well,
Old gold.
Different.
old
Yeah,
gold.
just don't confuse the two.
Yeah.
Right. One is for drinking. if that's your thing.
One more thing in sports, and then we'll leave it
And
alone.
one's way
Yeah, yeah.
cheaper than the other two.
3 p.m. today, the Boom played Birmingham Squadron at Noblesville.
Oh,
Tune in. You have to tune in on NBAGleague.com because it's not a public stream. So
Well, yeah.
Whatever.
So pay for it, right?
yeah, pay for it.
Yeah. Pay Mike's salary.
do they charge for that?
Not necessarily. You can sign up for like a free whatever.
free
Trial of it or
Yeah.
something.
But like it's just an unlisted YouTube broadcast, so like you can get to it from YouTube, but like
find
NBAG.com,
it.
like you have
Yeah.
to pay. So, which I've complained about. This is my rant for the day: is that we put in so much work to elevating our broadcast for the G League team, and then the last like 5 games, we found out that they're not putting us up on our stream until like 5 minutes into the game.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, what am I? Why am I here?
Yeah, yeah.
What am I doing?
What am I doing?
So like I've sent some very nicely worded emails to the powers
Nicely
that be.
worded?
Yeah, how many times do you delete and retype?
I mean, a lot, but they were nice.
It's a lot
I can't
easier
say
now.
that.
Chat,
Hold
Chat
on.
GPT needs
Yeah.
to make,
Yeah,
please
this-
make this sound
Make this
nicer.
nicer.
What's
Make
that?
it a little
Clean
more
this
nice.
up for me.
Copilot. That's it.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Microsoft
yeah,
Copilot.
Yeah.
Make it nicer.
Yeah.
Again, nicer.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll
Less
say one
aggression.
thing too. So yesterday was the end of the membership. If you didn't get in and you wanted to get in, today is actually the last day of our week.
You have 9
If you
minutes.
want to, you still have 4 hours to get here.
Come
If
in,
you
get
wanna
some
it.
chili.
If you can't
sign
get in
up.
here, you can call in. We'll get you set up. But today is absolutely the dead last day that we're going to do it, so we can start
And do want to
planning for the
repeat
rest of
that.
the year.
You can call in with your
Yes.
card
Yeah.
and they will
We
take
had
it.
we had 2 call in on Friday and signed up.
It'll be
so-
Rob or Lisa answering, not one of us. I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
What's our count? Yeah.
We're up to 12 or 13.
Okay.
So we're right.
That's
we're
great.
right where we were last year.
So if
And
you're
I'm doing mine
and we
today.
got,
I'm
I think we have 2 or 3 more
procrastinating.
today. I
if
think
you're
2 or 3
listening
are,
now
yeah.
and you are going to be a member, there will be a new Facebook group for
Yes.
the members that will be created that the additional content will go to after the podcast. Every
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, and if you're not on Facebook, we'll still be communicating via email, whatever
Email,
too.
yeah.
But I think most people this year are on Facebook, so we'll get that going. The one thing about the Facebook page that we probably didn't do as well as we wanted to last year was it's not just for me to post for you guys to read, it's also for you guys to
You guys to
connect.
interact.
Because
Yeah.
if you guys connect, you're like Dave talks about all the time. So, man, I'd love to have somebody come down here and have a drink with me. And you know what? Post it. There might be somebody down there.
Call
Let's
me.
go by and hang out. You know, it's just a good opportunity for people to connect and become friends.
See, I was trying to get Rob and Lisa to put a key deadbolt, like a number pad deadbolt on the patio. So on Mondays, when Alan has nowhere to smoke, he can come and just type in the code
See,
and
I don't
smoke
even
on
want
the
to hear that
patio.
crap from Alan because I'm in here all
You're
day
usually here on
Monday. And
Monday.
he's never here. So
I always forget. I'm always,
Oh,
but
I
see,
know.
now I know and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm,
Alright.
I'm doing the Kevin Clawson.
Spice.
there you
The
go.
Kevin Clawson thing. Cause I mean, I love that the cigar is so good. It's getting a little hot, but
Yeah.
I'm getting every centimeter.
I mean,
out
the
of it.
retro
Using your
now
poker.
is the
Yeah.
spice level
Yep.
just went through the
Completely
roof.
transitioned.
Absolutely
Way
crazy
up.
in the last.
Almost made my eyes water.
Yeah.
This is
I
an
tasted it.
amazing pick that you guys did.
Yeah, I mean, this is all Fred Minnick. Fred
Oh.
did this with Ari. Great, amazing blend. This is Indian single malt with Indiana bourbon.
That's great.
Yeah.
What's
Nice.
the what was
Oh.
the proof on this one? I forgot to look. again.
103.
103.
Okay.
So with this being an Indian single malt, does that make this go to a light whiskey instead of being a bourbon?
No, it wouldn't be a light whiskey.
They have their own category, don't they?
It would just be
Indian
a,
single malts.
a whiskey.
Just a whiskey.
Just a general whiskey. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Indian spices that I'm pulling, and then on the retro,
Yeah.
you get this licorice kind of
Mhm.
back flavor on the
Yeah,
back palate.
yeah.
That's really cool. Like, it's really
So we'll
Very cool.
really quick, Breeden. Talk about some Indian flavors and spices that you're getting through there for like the Indian whiskey side of it, because I don't want to misconstrue the two things for like Indian food versus whiskey, because I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of like the general public when you say Indian flavors and Indian
They
Yeah,
yeah,
instantly
it's
go
not
spices.
curry. It's not curry
Yeah.
spice. No, there's no curry
So
in this.
let's break that
Yeah.
down a little bit. What type of spices are you getting out of this that are different?
Saffron.
I get saffron, cardamom,
Umami.
Cardamom, yeah, for sure.
a little ginger, a little bit of licorice, just not your everyday spices,
I
right?
would say
Like,
the ginger stands out to me.
ginger's there. Like, it's just a beautiful.
It also is a little spicy on the palate. Like leaves a
Y-
little,
yeah.
It does.
just a little spice
Get a
tingle.
little tingle.
Yeah. And I think it totally works well with this cigar.
Yeah.
With where I'm at in this, maybe like the end of the second third with this, I get like a rosemary where it's kind of like sharp on the end.
Yeah.
Really like kind of floral.
Yeah.
I can
Almost.
see that. Yeah.
It's very, very pungent.
I just
And
get,
not in a bad way.
I get
No.
heavy licorice now, retro
I do too.
licorice with this. Like, and it's almost too much. Like, just yeah, it's just so spicy now on the retro, and it's probably because we're in the final third too.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
This is one of those
Fantastic.
whiskeys I think you could have
Yep.
all six of us sit here and drink it, and we can write our notes without talking.
Yeah.
You've got
And
a
it'd all
bottle.
be totally different.
I do, yes.
You have a bottle. Of
Yeah,
this.
I have a bottle of this. I haven't opened it yet because that was one that Jen bought that she like really wanted because she really liked this like specific.
Good
pick.
call.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it. All right,
mean-
so a couple things coming up. I'll go ahead and get this out of the way real quick. Obviously, today we're doing the chili cook-off in about 45 to 50 minutes. So if you are listening, get in here and try some great chili and vote for your favorite. We are going to be open for the Super Bowl, even though I don't think anyone really cares about the Super Bowl because it's
Really
not
don't.
a real sport. So
Through the game.
Oh my gosh! It's the last of the.
I will
Seahawks.
say, does it seem like there's not as much interest?
I feel like in Indiana, we're like on a hangover from
Yes.
IU.
I think
It's
that's
like-
probably the
Yeah.
I
case.
mentioned to you, like I said, when you put so much emotional interest into Indiana football winning, and then they finally do, nothing else matters.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like you're in this hangover. It's like, I really don't care, even if Indiana basketball loses at this point.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
love you, Pacers.
This is a
Yeah.
very. I think this is
Yeah.
an evenly matched Super Bowl, though.
It looks like
That's
it.
a rematch
It's
from
probably
what,
going to
8
be a
years
good
ago?
game.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna
It's
say,
probably gonna
it's-
be a
Well,
good game.
and talk about that a little bit too. I saw the post that Seattle is going to put the team up for sale right after the Super Bowl.
I didn't know that.
They better win then.
I'm like, okay, that's kind of a
You
bold
better
statement.
win.
I would say
Wow.
that's
I'm
really
like,
gonna.
you're getting if they win
That's
the
gonna
Super Bowl,
offset
you're-
your
all
price.
that money. yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
If
even
you
know
lose-
who's favored. Like I haven't even seen.
Patriots, I think.
Patriots, I
are
think.
they? Oh, I
Patriots
thought
favorite?
Seattle might have been.
I
favored.
thought Seattle would have been favored. I don't.
I
know.
haven't seen.
I feel like
Any of it.
I'll check it and I'll get back to you. But
Okay.
I thought the Patriots were favored because of their momentum with May. And then but he
But man, Seattle.
He ended up
Sam
injured.
Sam Darnold's on a fire right now
Yeah.
in their running game, and
It could be.
So-
I mean, it could be a really good game, and we will be open for the game. So we're not normally open that late, but we'll be open for the game. Johnny Cash, February 28th. Not really Johnny Cash. It's a
Tribute.
tribute. And then Cigar 101. I'm looking at. I kind of want to push it back in the middle of March because we've got so much going on the first week of March. I don't really want to have that back to back, but I'll have the dates for that here soon. I still have to do a lot of editing, but I finally got my stuff ready to go for that. Again, March 1st, that week is going to be our 4th anniversary. So we'll be doing some stuff all week that
You know
week.
what you should get yourself? Get the lounge for the 4th anniversary.
What's that? That's 98-inch TV.
A 98-inch TV.
Yeah.
Because
I-
if you do
I-
that in the first week of March, the second week of March is
March Madness.
NCAA
That's
March
true.
Madness.
I know.
So
I
technically,
want to,
the
but I can't
Seahawks
right
are favored.
now.
Technically, the Seahawks are favored -4.5.
Yeah,
points.
4.5.
okay,
yeah.
okay,
that's
okay.
four.
That's actually a pretty big.
That's a
spread.
kind of heavy spread.
That is a heavy
Yeah.
spread. And then, of course, the McAuliffe White event on
Yeah,
April
you
the
don't,
9th.
you don't want to miss that one.
That'll be fun.
It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, so that's the stuff we got going right now. We're working on a couple of brands right now to try to bring them out for the March anniversary party week.
Are we going to have
So-
some whites for the show before the event?
Yes, they're on their way.
Perfect.
So I got some coming, and we'll be able to do this beforehand. Yeah.
I do want to give a shout out to American Craft Spirits Association.
Yeah.
I did judging for the whiskey competition or their spirits competition. We didn't have as many judges because of the weather. It was in DC Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we split the judging in half. So we did everything except whiskey. And then we're going to come back and do whiskey when we can get a few more judges in. So everything from vodkas to gins to distilled, spirit specialty category, rums.
Was this your first full-on spirits?
This is the
judging?
first one I've done where it wasn't whiskey. Yeah.
What'd you think?
Well, it's challenging at first, especially with the flavors, with the distilled spirit specialty category. There are a lot of flavors, sweetened things added to it. It's kind of the catch-all category for everything that's not really bourbon and rum or rye. Usually lower proof, a lot of flavored whiskeys and liqueurs, things like that. So the first thing, literally the first spirit I'm tasting is a Soshu and I'm like, I'm not
What
a
is that?
socio expert at all. Do you know what socio is?
I don't even have it. I've
Yeah.
never even
Okay.
heard of
Good.
it.
Because I didn't either. But no, it's a Japanese distilled spirit, similar to sake, but
Yeah.
instead of being fermented, they use rice, sweet potatoes, a lot of other things like that in it.
Was it good?
It was great. I
Okay.
thought it was really good.
Sounds good. I like sake. So
Yeah. And we did some obviously bourbon creams, whiskey creams, coffee liqueur. Some of the coffee liqueurs were phenomenal. A lot of interesting flavors. Palmos from like the French style of a palmo, which is more like a brandy with some apple juice kind of fermented and made into a spirit. A lot of interesting spirits. It was a lot of fun. A lot of really talented judges there. It was good to see them, network with them. Wendy Peevich was there.
yeah.
Wendy's got her own brand out, Archer Eland now out of Ohio. Phenomenal rye whiskey. If you can get your hands on it, highly recommend you try it. I'd love to get some for the podcast. If we can get a bottle
Shout out.
out of Ohio,
Yeah.
for sure. So,
We need to have Wendy on the show too.
I think she'd be great.
She
Reach
is
out to her,
awesome.
see if she wants to join
I
us.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even from Zoom. I still have my Zoom account, so
Yeah.
if we need
Yeah.
to do
We got
like
to
a
test
virtual.
that. We got to figure that one
Yeah.
out.
I got the account. We can test it like before we get somebody else on, but
Yeah.
You know, when
And-
Alan goes to Tampa here soon.
yeah.
Yes. And I got an email.
We'll test it with Alan.
I got an email yesterday that I have been invited back to 2026 to be an ASCOT judge.
Congratulations.
That's great. Yeah,
Thank you.
congrats,
Yeah.
man.
Excited to do that. And that'll start, that competition will start the end of April for judging. So, and the results will be posted middle to end of May, probably.
That's great, man.
Awesome.
Good for you.
So it's coming up
Yeah, 2026. Yeah.
back in DC, or is it?
No, this will be the ASCOT's usually is done like remotely.
Remote.
Everybody kind of
Okay.
gets their samples in. So I'll do it from home, you know.
All right, so everybody finish up your whiskey because I want to make sure we
One
have plenty
more.
of time to talk about this bottle. And Alan's or Will's going to have some questions for you guys.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm out of cigar.
You called it. You called it.
I know.
90.
I
said
told
it
you ahead
early.
of time, but you know, didn't matter.
We can get somebody.
Wait,
I'll get it.
I'll get up. I got it.
Hold on.
We can get somebody to grab some cigars.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You're right. I'll get,
Sure.
I'll get one out there. Yeah.
You know what? I was trying to be nice.
All right, so we are pouring a very special pick.
Yeah, so this is a barrel pick that I got from the Speed Art Museum in Louisville's annual charity auction. That was 2 years ago when I got this. Finally got around to doing the barrel pick yesterday. This is the first wheated bourbon from Hard Truth that they've released as a single barrel in Indiana.
Wow. Okay.
The only other one they've done was for Fred Minnick, and I got the second one ever. I feel super honored that they were gracious enough to pull these for us to try. Yeah. This is, we had 3 samples and we all kind of, wasn't a unanimous decision on this barrel, but it was enough
Close.
of a,
No, but granted,
it was a 5-3.
all three that we took that were picked could have easily been a single barrel, and they would have all been great.
So
Every one of them was great.
this is I want to say, I can't remember the mash bill off the top of my head.
It was 69.
69 corn.
That's hilarious.
corn,
That's
nine-
hilarious.
19 and 12. 19 wheat, and then
69 is a weird number
It's a
for
weird
like
number. it's
a
hilarious.
like a math. I mean, it is
I mean,
hilarious.
it's hilarious, but
Yeah, 69-19. Yeah.
Usually it's like 60 or 70.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's usually a whole
65.
number, not
Yeah.
not a
This
random.
is so this was in a independent stave barrel, a P47 barrel. What that means is it's a heavy infrared toast. So a heavy toast, char 1. Char 1.
Heavy toast char 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
So
that color out of it.
I don't know if you guys saw any details on it, but I
121 proof.
121 proof.
121. Yep.
I don't know what happened to the cap.
Will's got it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'll put it up there. Anyway, just interested to see what you guys think of it.
So the nose,
It cleared me up.
you know, I'm a big fan of Larceny Barrel Proof.
Yeah.
And I immediately kind of equated some of those wheat notes very similar on the nose to a Larceny Barrel Proof.
Which we were
Oh.
drinking recently.
We were out. We actually Mike and I went out Thursday to Harris Hoosier Park. No, they're not running yet, but they will be
Soon.
Very soon.
Few
Like
weeks.
This month.
2 weeks.
This
Yeah.
month.
2 or 3
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. They'll
Some
they'll
cold
start running
runs.
out there. It's going to be very, very cold.
Man, that's good. Those horses, man. Woo.
Well, they're running
Not
over.
even the
in-
horses, the drivers.
They're running over in Dayton, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, they're running. I was betting on Yonkers.
Oh,
And they
Yonkers
had
is the only place I
snow.
win.
Yeah,
snow
yeah,
blowing,
Rob
man.
wins. we were thinking of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There was snow blowing across the
We didn't
track
win.
while they were running.
Wow.
Like you couldn't even see turn 3
Oh, wow.
hardly from the
Washout,
The
yeah.
camera is just white out. But they were out there running, but ran into our friend Gene. It's great to hang out with him for a couple hours.
Always.
We're trying to inspire Mother Nature to get summer going.
Gosh,
Yeah.
we're
We're ready
so
to
ready.
be back out at the track and spend our Tuesday nights out there.
So
So
ready for some warm weather.
I'm struggling on the nose a little bit, obviously. Some mucus issues, but
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit of cinnamon maybe on the palate.
Yep,
Yeah.
100%.
Not like super heavy, very subtle, like cinnamon, like stick, not
Not
candy.
candy.
Yeah, it's very, very much spice cinnamon.
Yeah, there's definitely cinnamon. There's a lot of baking spice in it. There's some nice caramel notes. I think there's a nice oak component on the finish. I like.
I don't feel like it's 121 though. I mean,
Yeah, it's funny.
That
So
kind of surprised me when I saw the bottle.
Yeah.
the one that was in competition with this was a 115 proof,
Yeah.
and it was, to me, it drank considerably hotter than this one did.
It was
Um,
hotter, but it was sweeter
Yeah.
in a different sweetness.
For me,
This one just has a really good mouthfeel to it.
did you say age?
What do you think it is?
Well, that's what that's one of the questions I'm gonna ask you.
5?
Okay.
Okay.
I would think somewhere around
I'm
that.
thinking 5.
Max out of
Yeah.
6.
I'm thinking young.
Younger than
But
5.
by the way, I don't think it tastes young. I
No.
don't think it tastes like a young whiskey. I just think
No, I'm
it
guessing
tastes
young,
like
but
a
it doesn't taste that way.
Well,
but I'm guessing
think
young
in the wheat
because
category too, because wheats tend to.
pull age pretty
Yeah.
fast. Yeah.
Well,
No, they actually
no,
don't.
they're slower.
yeah, they
Yeah,
take
oh,
usually
slow,
it's like
slow.
6
I'm
years to
saying
get
seven.
it.
Well,
I'm
I think
saying
that's
7.
I think that's what almost like the uniqueness of it is. I feel like it's young, but it tastes like it's been aged. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's way more age on it, but it's not that old.
So they don't take it quicker when they're in hot zones. I mean, like I know like wheats that like obviously the pappies, but they're putting them all at the bottom in the middle,
Yeah.
right? For the most part.
Again, I think I think that it's age and it's also distillation. This sweet mash.
Okay.
Sweet mash ages differently than sour mash does too. So 4 year.
4.
4
this
years.
is a
Okay, so
four-
not far off.
But this is a 4 year.
It's a great product
bourbon.
for-
I'm shocked.
saying.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
that's
I mean,
surprising.
4 year?
Yeah,
You
I
get
really-
that color
yeah.
out of a 4 year.
It's
That's
nuts.
That's
yeah, I
crazy.
just don't.
That is crazy.
I don't get those young weeded bourbons. Sometimes can be real grassy.
Yes.
Yeah.
and just I call it grassy, and I don't pull that on this at all.
Rob always said alfalfa, like when it hits
Yeah.
that like grassy, like
Yeah.
barn
But
note.
strangely
barnyard
enough,
almost.
I actually am getting some of those somewhat grassy notes out of the cigar. Yeah.
Huh.
Which is
The
kind of
spice on
interesting.
that, like I'm well into my final third. I almost need a poker just to finish it, but it's not really hot to me yet. But I'm getting down there now.
Well,
I do
shout
get
out to Jerry, or is it Jerry or Gary? I think it's Jerry.
Jerry, yeah.
Lynch. He puts on a great pick. He does a great job. He blinded us when we started, and then we left because we kicked one out. We left and came back to the last two, and he just did a great job. And what was the other guy's name?
Blair.
Blair.
The retro,
Blair's
the red.
a wealth of knowledge. He's been in this industry for what? What do you say? 50 years?
His whole life since he was.
Well, it's more than 50. 50 working, but he did it since he was like 12.
yeah,
he said. Yeah.
his grandparents owned Monarch.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow,
my goodness.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that
He's
tells you a
he was
little
he was a
something.
beer guy.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
He came on to work with the brewery when it was Big Woods before they transitioned to the distillery.
Yeah.
He knows everybody in the business in Indiana. If there's a beer cooler in Indiana, that dude's been there.
Which
Yeah.
again, a while
Yeah.
back, I can't reference the episode, but a while back we definitely talked about flipping brewers to distillers.
Yeah.
And I feel like at this day and age, like there's way more brewers that are getting into distillation
It's a
Yeah.
natural
because of their
progression.
knowledge.
natural-
Yeah, it's
yeah.
natural progression.
They're
Yeah.
tired of cleaning.
Well,
Well, I
they go
can-
to sweet mash with
Yeah.
our truth.
Right, which they still
Yeah.
clean, but they
So-
just don't have to be quite as aggressive
Yeah.
as they do in the beer world.
So I already killed my cigar, and I just lit up a red, McAuliffe red.
Yeah.
The retro on this with that bourbon is phenomenal.
Oh, wow.
Spicy.
I'd like to hear
super
that,
spicy.
yeah.
The spice notes just blend together so much. The cayenne with a little bit of almost I can't even nail the note necessarily with the spice on the bourbon, but they worked so well together that I just want to keep retroing, and my eyes are watering like crazy because I can't stop
I see
retroing
that.
on the bourbon.
Yeah.
I do get like an
That's
orchard
amazing.
fruit in there too. I don't quite
Yeah.
know what it is.
It's
It's
almost
almost appley, but it's not
yeah.
apple.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say almost like Angry Orchard. If you've had like an Angry Orchard cider, you get a little
It's
bit of
cidery.
that.
Yeah,
You
kind
get a
of.
little bit of that on the on the back of the palate,
That's a good call.
but with the red, and then you get a little bit of the almost cayenne spice on top of that. It's like a Dutch apple pie kind of spice, like baking spice on top of it.
That's
Nice,
great. I
And
think
it's amazing.
the best question would be, where is this pick going to end up at?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So I'm going to donate this barrel to a charity, which
Okay.
is called Warriors for Warren. It's a very rare disease. So Alex Drabbing, who's at Red Barrel Liquors, some of his very close friends, their son has this rare genetic disorder, which is a neurological dystrophy. Basically, it renders the body almost,
Yeah.
you can't use. So
Worse than MS.
what my thoughts were we're going to pay this for. So this was a charity that got this barrel. This is where this is going to end up with another charity. So
So the bottles are going to go to the charity, and we can purchase it from the charity.
yeah, it'll be like
Okay.
a donation thing. I'm donating it to charity. I'm not taking one penny off of
Okay.
this because I
Well, when
can't.
you find out specifics for that, let us know.
Let
We'll
us
post
know.
it out.
We'll get
it Absolutely.
And then
Yeah.
we'll all get a bottle, I'm
Yeah,
sure, because
I'm
this
definitely getting a
this is
bottle of this
fantastic.
because with the red, which is
Yeah.
my normal go-to smoke, it's phenomenal.
We'll
That's
sell
great,
these.
great.
We'll sell the bottles.
Yeah.
We love
So-
charity.
So I kind of go when I'm drinking wheats, they kind of fall into three categories for me. The Bernheim, grassy,
Grassy,
Earthy,
yeah,
yeah, dirty, yeah.
Boo.
not my palate.
Yeah.
I love the people love it. That's great,
Mhm.
but doesn't work for me. I think you got the long age wheat, right? Where you're getting into some of the Pappies and some of the older Wellers.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
they get some of these caramel notes. They always have a good oak element to it. And then you get some of these kind of spice things going on, which I get out of the larceny. I get out of
Larceny,
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And that's I'm generalizing more than what I should, but that's kind of how I think about wheated bourbons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of in those three categories. And this is definitely my favorite style when it comes to the wheat.
Yeah.
It's there's always going to be something interesting in there, and you might even taste it and somebody tells you, yeah, it's a wheated bourbon. You go, really?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a wheat? Huh.
Even the reason I could tell it's a weed is just because it's all weededs do this to me. They're spiky on the back, like, and then that's just me. Like that's how I know. But like, I defy anybody to tell me that they can find a more complex weeded bourbon at 4 years
Yeah.
Yeah.
than this. Like,
100%.
And look at the color on that.
Yeah.
yeah.
At a 4 year, that is
One of the
really
darkest ones
dark.
on the table.
You've heard
Yeah.
me sneezing all day and sniffling and rubbing my nose over here. This was the one
It
that
opened
cleared
you
me
up.
out.
There you
Yeah.
go.
At 121. I mean,
Yeah.
that was it. Like this wheat cleared me
So,
out.
and I have to thank Brian with Hard Truth. You know,
Yeah.
I asked them for a weeded pick, and I was told absolutely not. Like no. And Brian and I had a conversation. I'm like, can you just throw one in? Well, that's everything we had to pick from yesterday was weeded, and I think their weeded bourbon is going to be, they're doing a release in February. They're going to have this at 7 year. That they're doing a special
goodness,
release
yeah.
for their 7 year.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
I would
phenomenal.
love
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
what this does at 7 year versus 4.
Yeah, we'll go February, the end of February at
Yeah.
the event. You can get a bottle. It'll be
Yeah.
there.
Well,
for
and
some-
I'm gonna be
the
in
other
line for
barrel
that.
that was it was 5-3. The one that was 3, which I picked the other one. I
Yeah.
picked opposite of him. Alex is working to buy that barrel. So if he buys that barrel, I'm going to try to get some cases
Yeah.
here too. So we
Yeah.
can
It'd
sell
be
some
fun
of
to
that
blind
too.
it again to
Oh,
go
dude,
back to
yeah.
it.
I was just
So you
going
can
to
find
suggest
Save,
that. Yep.
yeah, save
So
the
once
rest
you
of
find
that.
out he's wrong,
I think no. I honestly think
So I can get it totally backwards.
I think
Yeah.
it'll split. I honestly think it would split.
Yeah, I think it
between
will
us.
too. I think it will too.
I think
'cause-
Scott's going with mine.
yeah.
Mike's going with yours. Heine,
Yeah.
I don't know about. Alan's probably going to go with.
do you think, Alan?
One, with yours.
I think he'll probably go. Yeah, because
Oh no, I don't know though. You don't like hot whiskey. Like,
I'm
and
not
I think
as-
it drinks
He's not a
hot.
hot guy, yeah.
Yeah,
See,
he
I got
might- he
more
might go the other
sweetness
way.
than heat, but it did have more of the ethanol heat, just the actual whiskey heat from it than this one did.
Did it make for a weird card ride home when you guys, were opposite ends of things?
Well, Gabe and I rode together.
Yeah,
so
I was-
yes, it was
we
rough.
ended
It
up
was a rough
staying
drive,
and-
yeah.
They didn't talk the whole way.
Turning it on.
While we're
Again.
talking about charity, though,
Yeah.
shout out to Drew Black at Circle City Whiskey supporting
Yeah,
Oh,
ALS.
yeah.
good for him.
That was
man.
Uh,
great.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, we honored him at the Pacers. He ended
I
up
sent him
doing
that
some
picture,
stuff.
by the way. He
Yeah.
appreciative.
So
of
he
it.
posted that, and then I ended up clipping it off from the game, like video.
Gave him a good quality.
Yeah, I sent it
image,
to him.
yeah.
So, and then obviously we are big supporters of Dirk Fence with Indiana
Yeah,
Bourbon. So
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
that event at Old 55 is going to be April the 18th.
April 18th. Okay.
We won't be there this year because it's PCA.
Okay.
Um,
Well, if we don't go to
kinda
PCA
bummed.
with you,
you can
then
go.
maybe
do
we'll go
do an event
support
there.
Dirk.
There you
So-
go. There you go.
I already
Yeah.
took the time off work, so
Yeah.
if you aren't
Could do
on
one or the
PCA,
other.
I think I am.
I
Yeah,
lied.
there you go.
I
I
lied.
think you might be our representative at PCA.
Well, I mean, if nobody else goes, I'm kind of almost guaranteed to go. 'cause
That's
I already
true.
took the time off work.
Because April 18th, we're going to Tennessee because
Yeah.
that's the Caverns trip. We're going to
Oh,
see a
gotcha,
concert
okay.
at
We're
the
gonna go to a
Caverns
concert,
from
yeah.
the 17th
Yeah.
through the
Which
19th.
we knew that there was limited tickets to PCA. It would have been different
Yeah.
to try and figure out how to get in there.
So,
Well, I don't.
So I
blame-
think you've got one extra, maybe. So maybe Will's our
Yeah, I'll
podcast
just-
rep.
we have to see
besides
what we
Yeah.
have,
Rob
Will and
and
Alan will
Lisa.
go.
There you go.
I'm
There
sure
you
there's
Yeah,
golf
let me look
courses.
at my schedule.
yeah.
Oh.
Look at that, you're open.
I
Imagine
think I
that.
could
It's
pencil
open.
you
Imagine
in.
that.
Hell, go for a couple days early and play some
Golf?
golf.
Oh,
together,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Are we
April
golfing?
in New Orleans will be
Oh,
great.
that'd be nice.
Are we golfing in New
April and
Orleans?
like October, November are the best times in New Orleans. Summer, just don't
Sometimes
go.
Too
it's just
humid.
a
Yeah.
sweat.
Yeah, we're going next
Winter's-
weekend. It's still a little cool, but it's going to be like high in the 60s,
Yeah, it'll
low in
be
the upper
great.
40s. It's still
You'll
going to
be
be
in
great.
t-shirt and
But in-
shorts, buddy.
But in April, you're still in crawfish season.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're in peaking out in crawfish
Yes, you
season,
are.
and it's nice and warm and pleasant. You'll have a blast.
If you're
That's
taking
great.
a week and don't know what to do after a little New Orleans time, Janelle and I, because we're taking the camper down for the Caverns, we're gonna
Yeah.
go see JJ Gray
Yeah.
and Band of Heathens 2 days in a row. And then we're thinking maybe take the camper down to Orange Beach, which is a 3-hour drive from New
I'm gonna
Orleans.
say I'm gonna be
So,
down there the whole week, so I've got the whole week off.
There you go.
That's a quick trip from New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not
3-hour
far.
drive.
Couple
Yeah,
hour
it's,
drive,
it's easy. And it's actually a nice drive.
Yeah.
I-10,
It's fun. Yeah.
It's a cool drive.
It's
You're-
fun drive.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's kind of a different
I mean,
area.
we kind of almost committed to PCA. We didn't know if we were actually going to get in or not, but we kind of went ahead and took the time off. So I think we may be there regardless. So I mean,
I
we
think
can
there was like
easily-
one other person that was going that had maybe an extra ticket.
Yeah,
or two.
I haven't heard back yet on him
So-
on whether or not because I think he has somebody go with him now.
Is
so
that
may
the
not.
Fort Wayne guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Joe. Yeah.
Joe.
All right.
Which shout out to Joe. He's got his own podcast now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be going up there at some point to do a podcast with him because
That's cool.
cigars and bourbon. Why not? Right.
Yeah.
So, I can't remember the name of his podcast, but
We'll
we'll
find
promote
out.
it next week
Yeah,
and
we'll
make sure
promote
that people start following his podcast.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap
wrap
this
it
up
up.
so we
Wrap
can.
her up.
We got to
Yep.
do members before the chili.
There you
So,
go.
oh, yeah.
So go ahead, Rob.
Let's
Where
do
can I
it.
find you at?
Everywhere. Final Third Cigar.
Find me at Cocky Wolverine.
All
Find
right.
me at Scotty D Smokes.
You can find me at both the Visual Spencer Lee's, and don't forget to follow the Final Third podcast.
All things Big Al.
And Moto Photo Will on Instagram.
That's
Hey,
great.
thanks a lot, guys. We'll
Cheers,
see you next week.
everyone.
Cheers, everybody.
Oh man, that with the red is amazing.
I can't wait to try it.
Oh.
Oh my god.